Chapter 1565. His injuries were much more serious than Ling Shan's. Ling Shan had only been sent flying by 01 out of anger, but Chen Tian had been forced into a head-on. The two of them weren't on the same level. The website continuously updates pure TXT handwritten novels 24/7. Miss Song. Save them. Chen Tian endured the pain and called out to Ling Shan. Even if Chen Tian didn't say anything, Ling Shan wouldn't just sit and watch. She spat out a mouthful of blood, but her injuries weren't that serious. She got up from the ground and charged at 01. Meng Yao, Yushu, and Tang Yun were all very nervous, but they couldn't do anything to help. They could only watch the situation unfold. Just who are you? Ling Shan asked, wiping the blood from her mouth. 01 didn't even bother replying to her as he swung his fist at Ling Shan. Ling Shan panicked and quickly used her practitioner's arts to defend, barely dodging the attack. But Ling Yi didn't stop there. He kicked out with his right leg again, too fast for Ling Shan to react. Ling Yi's kick landed on her abdomen. Physical practitioners were known for their speed and strength, and even though Ling Shan was a mystic, she was still at a disadvantage against 01, who was a mystic late-phase peak. Ah! Ling Shan cried out as she was sent flying once more, but this time it was a lot more serious. Evidently, he was pissed at Ling Shan's provocation again. This could be seen just from the distance and height that Ling Shan had been sent flying. Previously, she'd only been sent flying 10 meters, but this time, she'd been sent flying more than 30 meters, flying straight towards the cars that were trying to go around them. Today, Lin Yi had just returned to Songshan, and as soon as he got back, he went straight to the exam venue. He was just in time for the first exam. Peng Zhan had already promised Lin Yi that even if he didn't take the exam, he would still sponsor him to go to college, but Lin Yi still wanted to try it himself. The questions in high school were easier, and Lin Yi was quite good at it. The Miss and Tang Yun could take the exam with their own abilities, so why couldn't Lin Yi? But, what Lin Yi didn't expect was that he would be stuck in a traffic jam on the way to the exam venue. This was the main road, and normally there wouldn't be a traffic jam here. Why was there a traffic jam today? Could it be that there was an accident ahead? Lin Yi followed the car in front of him, and was about to take a detour when a silhouette suddenly flew over and smashed into the windshield of his car with a loud bang. Did he hit someone? Lin Yi paused. He wasn't driving at all. The car was parked on the road. How could he hit someone? Could it be a scammer? Lin Yi raised his head subconsciously and looked at the silhouette in front of the car. He jumped in fright when he saw that the windshield of the car was already covered in blood, and the windshield had been smashed into pieces by the person who had appeared out of nowhere. It looked like a spider's web. How much strength did that take? The windshield of the car was made of multiple layers of tempered glass. It would take a lot of strength to smash it, and Lin Yi wasn't even driving, so the force was from this person. If this was a scammer, unless the scammer had a screw loose, it was no different from suicide. Lin Yi frowned as he looked at the bloody figure. He felt a sense of familiarity. Could it be that he had seen this person before? Lin Yi quickly opened the door and helped the person up. When Lin Yi saw the person's face, he was shocked. It was Song Ling Shan. That's right, the person who had hit Lin Yi's car was Song Ling Shan. Ling Shan. What's wrong? Lin Yi asked subconsciously. Weibo, ah. Ling Shan opened her eyes to see Lin Yi, shocked as well. She didn't think that 01 would be this fast. He'd just sent her flying, and he was already here. Was he trying to kill them all? What's wrong? Lin Yi looked at Ling Shan, confused. Ling Shan's eyes flashed with suspicion as she listened to the familiar voice. This Lin Yi in front of her was exactly the same as the Lin Yi from before, but the Lin Yi from before didn't say a word. This Lin Yi. Was it the real Lin Yi? Are you for real? Ling Shan asked subconsciously. What do you mean? Lin Yi blinked, not knowing what Ling Shan was talking about. You're the Lin Yi who called me Miss Brain Dead? Ling Shan asked uncertainly. Little girl song, are you stupid? What are you talking about? How did you get hurt? What's going on? Lin Yi didn't know what Ling Shan was talking about, he didn't know what was going on. Lin Yi. It's really you. It's really you. Thank goodness. Ling Shan finally confirmed that the person in front of her was the real Lin Yi after hearing Lin Yi's words. So where was the fake Lin Yi? With that thought, Ling Shan quickly said, over there. There's a fake you over there, he hurt me. Yushu and the others are over there, go help them. What? Lin Yi didn't know what Ling Shan was talking about, but Lin Yi understood that there was an enemy over there, and Shu and the others were in danger as well. Lin Yi didn't say anything, he picked up Ling Shan abruptly and sprinted in the direction Ling Shan told him to go. Yushu was in despair, not expecting this fake shield bro to be this strong, beating both Qintian and Ling Shan so easily. Yushu wanted to fight back, but how was she a match for Ling Yi? After sending Ling Shan flying, Ling Yi reached for Yushu once more, wanting to take off all her clothes. Don't. You look like shield bro, but you're not shield bro. Yushu crossed her arms in front of her chest as she looked at Ling Yi cautiously. Don't touch me, or shield bro won't let you get away with it. If he finds out that you're messing with his little wife, you're dead meat. Ling Yi didn't listen to what Yushu was saying, he kept getting closer to her. I'm telling you, my words are very accurate. People call me Prophet Shu, and you're dead meat if you take another step. Shield bro won't let you get away with it. Yushu said. Chapter 1566. Menyao's heart sank when she said that. She had a good relationship with Shu, and she would always be the first to rush to the front whenever Shu was in danger, but this time was different. This 01 was obviously trying to break Yushu's chastity, and if Meng Yao were to take her place, the result would be obvious. However, Tang Yun was Lin Yi's girlfriend, and Shu wanted to marry Lin Yi as well, so chastity was more important to them. She was the only one who had nothing to do with Lin Yi, and she didn't have a boyfriend either. It was better for her to deal with it herself. At most, she wouldn't get married and live with Shu anymore. Yao Yao, what are you doing? Yushu jumped at Meng Yao's actions. He's coming for me, you and Tang Yun sis run, or we won't be able to get away. It's fine, I'll take your place. Meng Yao said faintly. It's fine, we'll just see it as Lin Yi and me. I don't plan on marrying anyone in the future anyway, as long as you guys don't mind me. That's fine, Meng Yao said faintly. Yao Yao, what are you talking about? Yushu jumped at Meng Yao's calmness. Don't mess things up, I'll scare him again. Tang Yun, who was standing on the side, was touched by Meng Yao and Yushu's sisterly love. 01 paused when he saw Meng Yao getting out of the car and standing in front of Yushu. He paused for a moment, but the program in his head told him to grab a random girl to flirt with, and it didn't matter if it was Yushu or Meng Yao, they'd have to fulfill the hypnosis instructions in his head. And so, he grabbed Meng Yao and pulled her over. Stop. I'm telling you, I'm going to make a prophecy. Shield Bro will be here soon, and if you take another step, you'll have to face Shield Bro's punishment. Yushu yelled at the top of her lungs. The website continuously updates pure TXT handwritten novels 24/7. Meng Yao and Tang Yun didn't know whether to laugh or cry at Yushu's words. Meng Yao was just about to tell Shu to stop and run away when her eyes widened in disbelief. Behind 01, there was another person who looked exactly the same as him. But that person was carrying Ling Shan, and his eyes were filled with a sense of familiarity. Could it really be Lin Yi? Meng Yao wondered if her eyes were playing tricks on her. Was she seeing double? He quickly rubbed his eyes, but what he saw were still two Lin Yis. Yushu and Tang Yun, on the other hand, had the same reaction as Meng Yao, rubbing their eyes in disbelief. Lin Yi was shocked as well. He was seeing someone who looked exactly like him, but this person had to be the enemy Ling Shan was talking about. Lin Yi didn't care where he came from, he just needed to defeat him. Lin Yi put Ling Shan down and patted 01's shoulder. 01 turned around naturally when he sensed someone behind him. However, when he saw Lin Yi behind him, he wasn't surprised at all. It was as if he didn't think there was anything wrong with this person looking exactly like him. Instead, he swung his arm, wanting to throw Lin Yi away. Slap. 01's right hand was caught firmly in Lin Yi's hand. Ha! It's Shield Bro, he's back. Yushu was finally certain that the person behind 01 was her Shield Bro, the real Lin Yi. It really is Lin Yi. Meng Yao said, pleasantly surprised. This was the kind of joy that came from escaping from a hopeless situation. Just a moment ago, she was already disheartened, but now, her hope was reignited. She was glad that she didn't have to lose her innocence so easily today. Meng Yao had already made up her mind, but that was because she had no other choice. Now, she was overjoyed. Tang Yun was pleasantly surprised as well. Lin Yi was really back. Let's see if this fake Lin Yi can still be cocky now. She had already poured a lot of dirty water on Lin Yi, and now the truth was out. Prophet Shu is amazing, she made another prophecy. Yushu clapped her hands excitedly, Shield Bro, don't let him go. Shu's innocence that should have belonged to you was almost taken away by him. Meng Yao and Tang Yun sweated after hearing Yushu's words. How could she say something like that in public? This Shu wasn't a normal person after all. However, Tang Yun didn't dislike Shu's words at all. First, it was because she had gotten familiar with Shu these days, and Tang Yun had accepted her existence from the bottom of her heart. Second, Tang Yun really had to thank Prophet Shu. If it wasn't for her prophecy, one of them would have lost his innocence today. Although Lin Yi knew that Yushu's words were a bit exaggerated, but looking at the scene in front of him, it wasn't far off. To be honest, Lin Yi was shocked by this fake Lin Yi. If it wasn't for the fact that Lin Yi knew that he had no brothers and was an orphan, Lin Yi would really think that this person was his twin brother. Of course, this didn't exclude the possibility that Lin Yi had a twin brother before he became an orphan. But this wasn't important. No matter who he was, Lin Yi wouldn't let him go so easily. Just based on the fact that this person injured Ling Shan and Chen Tian, Lin Yi wouldn't let him go so easily. In a business car not far away, Scorpion wiped the sweat off his face and called Jiang Wen anxiously. Master Wen, bad news. Scorpion said as soon as Jiang Wen picked up the call. What's wrong? Why are you panicking? Jiang Wen asked. Master Wen, Lin Yi suddenly came back and fought with 01. Scorpion said, what should we do? What? Lin Yi's back. Jiang Wen paused. Why is he back now? And why did he meet Lin Yi so coincidentally? It's quite a coincidence, Master Wen, this is what happened. Scorpion quickly told Jiang Wen about how 01 stole Meng Yao's car and fought with Ling Shan and Chen Tian. No way. What a coincidence. He bumped into Meng Yao. Is Meng Yao alright? Jiang Wen was shocked, but he didn't have time to ask about 01. His attention was on Meng Yao. If something were to happen to Meng Yao, Jiang Wen would be filled with disgust and regret. Chapter 1567. Chapter 1566, a sad moment. As long as Meng Yao is fine. I'm the only one who can touch the woman I like. Jiang Wen breathed out in relief. The website continuously updates pure TXT handwritten novels 24/7. Then what about 01? Scorpion asked. Don't worry about it, let him fend for himself. Don't wait there, don't get him into trouble with 01, come back now. Jiang Wen said to Scorpion, 01's value is pretty much expense, there's no use for him anymore, let the police take him. Yes. Scorpion replied. It was true, the only use of the fake Lin Yi was to frame Lin Yi, but now that the real Lin Yi was here with him, there was no way to frame him anymore. Giving up on him and letting him take all the blame was the best choice. In any case, 01 was just a test subject. If Professor Yin wanted to create another one, he could easily create another one. His death was not to be regretted. After hanging up, Jiang Wen muttered to himself, I didn't think that Lin Yi would come back at this time. Was he on a long trip? What a coincidence to come back. Let's hope 01 can deal a heavy blow to Lin Yi. Jiang Wen wasn't dumb enough to think that 01 could take out Lin Yi. Although 01 could reach Mystic late phase peak after taking the capsule, that would only last for 5 minutes. Lin Yi was Mystic mid-phase peak, and even if 01 could suppress Lin Yi, there was only a difference of 1 level between a Mystic mid-phase peak and a Mystic late phase peak physical master, not 2 levels. Lin Yi, on the other hand, was someone who could fight enemies above his level. Jiang Wen didn't think 01 could take out Lin Yi at all. If 01 could deal a heavy blow to Lin Yi within these 5 minutes, then he'd have completed his mission perfectly. The website continuously updates pure TXT handwritten novels 24/7. Scorpion secretly started the car and disappeared into the crowd of cars. On the other side, Lin Yi and 01 were in a stalemate. Zero's right hand was in Lin Yi's hand. He couldn't move at all. 01's eyes flashed with anger. His right hand could not move, so he swung his left hand at Lin Yi. Boss Lin Yi, be careful. At this time, Chen had woken up. He was very weak, but seeing Lin Yi's return made him relax. His injuries didn't seem as bad as before. But Chen knew how strong 01 was. Even with his mystic early phase Iron Fist arts, he wasn't a match for 01. One had to know that the Iron Fist technique was a rather domineering mental cultivation technique. When practiced to the extreme, it could even break the Golden Bell shield. This 01's Kung Fu was on par with Iron Fist arts, and so Chen was worried that Lin Yi would be at a disadvantage. Even without Chen Tian's reminder, Lin Yi could tell that there was something wrong with 01. This person was incredibly strong, he could tell from the way he grabbed his right hand. If it weren't for the fact that Lin Yi had gone through strict training as an assassin, he wouldn't have been able to hold this guy off. According to Lin Yi's senses, 01 already had the strength of a mystic late phase peak. What kind of level was that? No wonder Chen Tian and Ling Shan weren't a match for him. If Lin Yi hadn't broken through to mystic late phase with Naipeo's help before the test, he would have had a hard time dealing with this guy. Even if he won, he'd suffer serious internal injuries. And so, Lin Yi became even more careful after Chen Tian's reminder. The moment 01 waved his left hand, Lin Yi moved as well. Lin Yi waved his right hand as well, but Lin Yi didn't meet the attack head-on. Instead, he condensed a small energy bomb in his right palm. The bomb would only send 01 flying and cripple his left hand, but it wouldn't do much damage to his body. But that was enough. Lin Yi could tell that 01 was an expert in martial arts, so he'd first destroy his left hand and make him lose some strength. As for the damage that the energy bomb would do to Lin Yi's right hand, it was negligible. Lin Yi could use his qi to heal himself in the blink of an eye. After all, the area of damage was too small. Now, after this test, Lin Yi was getting more and more familiar with forming energy bombs. It could be said that he had full control over it, and he could control the result he wanted. Of course, Lin Yi could also use a super large energy bomb to cripple 01, but Lin Yi didn't do that. This was because he didn't have enough time. Lin Yi didn't have the time to form a big energy bomb, and also because Lin Yi was going to the exams later. He couldn't afford to get hurt. The energy bomb could hurt enemies, but it could also hurt himself. Unless it was absolutely necessary, Lin Yi wouldn't use it. With a loud bang, it looked like the two palms collided, but it wasn't. 01's palm hit the energy bomb, but didn't touch Lin Yi's palm. The next moment, Lin Yi loosened his grip on 01's right hand, and he was sent flying by Lin Yi. 01 had the physical strength of a mystic late-phase peak, but it was forcefully leveled up. His technique wasn't very mature, and it wasn't the same as his own strength. Especially since 01 didn't have a mind of his own, and he didn't know how to react to the situation. He was just subconsciously attacking randomly, and so it was normal for him to be sent flying. Ah! Ling Shan and Qin Tian were both pleasantly surprised Lin Yi really was strong. Before, it was always 01 who sent them flying, but now that Lin Yi came back, he sent him flying with a seemingly easy palm. On the other side, Yushu, Meng Yao, and Tang Yun were all very excited. Lin Yi was back, and he was showing off his power. Shield bro, go! Shield bro is the best. Shu loves you the most. Yushu put her hands on her mouth, as if she was trying to amplify her voice to Lin Yi. This feeling is so calming, as if he's back, and all the troubles aren't troubles anymore. Tang Yun said with a sigh. Yeah, ever since that time in the bank, when I was saved by Lin Yi, I've been thinking that he's pretty strong. Meng Yao finally said the truth. Chapter 1568. Lin Yi, the real or fake she and Lin Yi were still young, and it was too early to talk about marriage. Who knew what would happen in the next few years? Plus, since Tang Yun had accepted Xiao Xiao, it was hard to say what would happen in the future. Tang Yun had promised Tianlong to let Xiao Xiao and Lin Yi be together, but at the time, she thought that Xiao Xiao didn't have long to live. Even if she ended up with Lin Yi, she'd just have to suffer for a while. She had a long life ahead of her. But after spending more time with Xiao Xiao, Tang Yun had accepted the girl from the bottom of her heart. She didn't want her to leave, so when Lin Yi wanted to bring Xiao Xiao to the doctor, Tang Yun had been very supportive. Since things had gotten to this point, Tang Yun might as well be a bit more generous and let Meng Yao and Yushu go. She'd let Lin Yi make the decisions anyways. Thinking too much would only annoy her. She might as well let nature take its course. Chapter 1567. 01 fell to the ground with a thud. He got up quickly, but his left hand was a mess of flesh and blood. The white bone could be seen clearly. Evidently, his hand was broken. But what surprised Lin Yi was that 01 didn't scream or say anything after the injury. His eyes were just a little red, and he looked a little angry. But it didn't seem like he was in any pain at all. 01 got up and charged at Lin Yi once more, but this time, he swung his right hand at Lin Yi. A mocking smile appeared on Lin Yi's lips. 01 didn't seem to be very smart. He'd gotten injured in the same way before, and this guy was going to use the same trick again. Was this the braver he got, or was it the fearless hero? Lin Yi condensed a small energy bomb in his palm and used the same method on 01's right hand. And so, 01 flew out tragically, landing heavily on the ground. His right hand was a mess of flesh and blood. Qin Tian and Ling Shan were both shocked at how Lin Yi crippled 01's hands in an instant, especially Qin Tian. He knew how strong 01 was with his hands, and he didn't have much of a chance with his iron fist, yet Lin Yi did it so easily. Qin Tian couldn't help but shiver at the thought. Thank goodness he'd recognized Lin Yi as his boss. If he'd still gone after Lin Yi like an idiot and fought Lin Yi for Sun Jingyi, his iron fist would have been broken if Lin Yi had done that to him. Wouldn't that have broken his iron fist? After Lin Yi fell to the ground, he quickly climbed back up and charged at Lin Yi, but this time, he used his injured right hand to attack Lin Yi again. Seeing this, Lin Yi was puzzled. Did this guy not know pain? Plus, using an injured hand to attack someone, wasn't that crazy? Was this guy stupid? Stupid? Thinking of this possibility, Lin Yi paused. He remembered the blank look in 01's eyes when he first saw him, and a bold guess flashed through Lin Yi's mind. Could it be that 01 was a person with no thoughts? Thinking back to how he was acting, it was as if he didn't fear death. There really was something wrong with this guy. As a result, Lin Yi didn't plan on killing 01 anymore. To be honest, he'd be able to blow up 01's legs and feet if he did what he was doing. It'd be a simple matter for Lin Yi to kill him with his bare hands if he wanted to. Website 7 by 24 hours of continuous updates of pure TXT handwritten novels. But now, Lin Yi felt that there was something wrong with 01, and decided to capture him alive to see what was wrong with him. Truth be told, Lin Yi was quite curious about the evil man that looked like him appearing in Songshan all of a sudden. Having made up his mind, Lin Yi took out a couple of needles and tossed them out. The needles landed on 01's body. 01 didn't dodge, which further confirmed Lin Yi's guess, he didn't have any thoughts of his own. Otherwise, there was no way he wouldn't dodge a hidden weapon. Especially 01, who was a mystic late-phase peak, dodging these needles would be as easy as flipping his palm. How could he just let the needles stab into his body? Lin Yi was a medical student, and he knew the acupoints of the human body like the back of his hand. In an instant, 01 was frozen in place by Lin Yi, unable to move. To put it bluntly, Lin Yi's move was similar to Feng Nitian's heaven-defying arts. Feng Nitian used his pure qi to bind the enemy, immobilizing them. Lin Yi, on the other hand, used acupuncture needles to make the enemy's limbs numb temporarily, unable to be controlled by the brain. Of course, this move was effective against normal people and people who were weaker than Lin Yi, but against someone of the same level or higher, it was a joke. The enemy could easily dodge it, and this was the first person Lin Yi had seen who didn't know how to dodge. Lin Yi walked over and crushed the joints of 01's limbs, making him lose his ability to attack. He then put away the needles in his body, his movements smooth and fluid, stunning the audience. Before, many of them were shocked to see two Lin Yis at the same time. Lin Yi's face wasn't unfamiliar to them, he was the suspect in the video. But after seeing two Lin Yis, the audience wasn't stupid. They immediately thought of the real and fake Monkey King in the Journey to the West, and roughly confirmed that one of the two Lin Yis was good, and the other was bad. In the end, the good Lin Yi easily defeated the bad Lin Yi, and the audience cheered, praising the real Lin Yi for capturing the evil person who caused everyone to panic. As for Lin Yi crushing 01's joints, no one thought that Lin Yi was cruel. Instead, they thought that it was a great way to vent their anger. That's great, let's see how he's going to harm people after he's crippled. A passerby said. That's right, I said it before, this kid looks good, and he doesn't look like an evil person at all. So the evil person is someone else. A passerby said. Yeah, he looks so similar, I think he's trying to frame him, this person is really evil. A passerby said. Chapter 1569. Chapter 1568, Victory. Lin Yi didn't bother with Ling Yi, he walked quickly to Lingshan and Qintian. Lin Yi didn't have the time to heal them, but he could give them some qi to heal their internal injuries. They were both practitioners, after all, and a little external injury wouldn't cause too much damage to them. Chapter 1568, Network. Lin Yi carried Lingshan and placed her beside Qintian before sitting down cross-legged, one in each hand. He entered the jade space and started using the art of dragon mastery to heal them. Lingshan and Qintian both knew how amazing Lin Yi was, and so they knew what Lin Yi was doing. The two didn't say a word as they accepted Lin Yi's healing. At the same time, police sirens started blaring. Huaijuan and Lu Wangli were rushing over with their men. The whole thing had happened in less than 10 minutes, and Lin Yi had finished it in an instant. Huaijuan's speed was already considered very fast. Huaijuan and Wangli got out of the car, and the first thing they saw wasn't the crippled Ling Yi, it was Lin Yi, who was standing behind Lingshan and Qintian. Huaijuan jumped when he saw Lin Yi holding Lingshan and Qintian's wrists. He'd thought that the fake Lin Yi had kidnapped them, but the pained expressions on their faces and the blood at the corner of their mouths made his face even paler. You! What are you doing? Don't do anything rash, we need to keep the hostages safe. Huaijuan said. Meng Yao and the others beside Huaijuan didn't know whether to laugh or cry, but it was understandable. The fake Lin Yi looked exactly the same as the real Lin Yi, and it made sense that Huaijuan would misunderstand. Ling Shan had also misunderstood when she saw the real Lin Yi return. Brother Yang, that's Lin Yi. He's healing Officer Song and Qin Tian right now, and the one over there is the one who framed Lin Yi. Lin Yi's already taken care of him. Meng Yao pointed at 01, who was lying on the ground with all 4 limbs broken. Ah! Lin Yi is back. Yang Huaitian was overjoyed after hearing Meng Yao's words, forgetting the awkwardness of the misunderstanding. He raised his head and saw a person who looked exactly like Lin Yi lying in a pool of blood. Lu Wangli, bring some men to apprehend him. Huaijuan's excitement was indescribable. Naturally, he didn't believe that Lin Yi was a suspect, and the evidence against him made him feel helpless. Now that the real Lin Yi had returned and taken care of the fake Lin Yi, he was overjoyed. Lu Wangli was the same. He didn't believe in Lin Yi as much as Ling Shan and Huaijuan did, but he didn't want Lin Yi to become a suspect. It seemed that it was all a misunderstanding. Lu Wangli wasn't afraid of Ling Wan's resistance, since there was nothing he could do under these circumstances. Lin Yi quickly transferred his qi to Ling Shan and Qin Tian, healing their organs. He stood up and said hurriedly, I'll take Yao Yao and the others to their exams first, we'll talk after I'm done. Lin Yi wasn't speaking softly, and Huaijuan and Lu Wangli heard him. Lin Yi waved his hand at them, and Huaijuan nodded, not saying anything else. Logically speaking, Lin Yi was supposed to go to the police station to make a statement, but it was an emergency, and Lin Yi had to take his exams. This procedure had to wait until after Lin Yi's exams were over. Yao Yao, Shu, Yun Yun, get in my car. Lin Yi waved at the 3 girls. Alright, Shield Bro is finally back. Yushu was the fastest, opening the front passenger door of Lin Yi's car and getting in. Tang Yun and Meng Yao, on the other hand, looked at each other helplessly. Meng Yao said to Tang Yun, Yun Yun, don't mind her, Shu is just like that. To be honest, Meng Yao was afraid that Tang Yun would do something to her. After all, Lin Yi was Tang Yun's boyfriend, and now that Lin Yi was back, Tang Yun should be sitting in the front passenger seat, but Shu took it. It's fine. Tang Yun shook her head nonchalantly, smiling, it's been so long, do you think I don't know Shu? With that, she pulled Meng Yao's hand and sat in the second row of the car. As for the last row of seats, Lin Yi had already removed it, turning it into an ice coffin along with the trunk. They didn't see Xiao Xiao in the car, and they couldn't help but feel strange. Lin Yi, where's Xiao Xiao? Is she still in the ice coffin? Meng Yao asked subconsciously. Where's my partner? Yushu realized that Xiao Xiao wasn't in the car as well. Could it be? You didn't find the fire spirit's fruit? Tang Yun's face darkened as she looked at the ice coffin. It's a long story. Let's talk on the way. Lin Yi guessed that this was what they were going to ask, but Lin Yi had to confirm the location of the exam room first. Where are you guys taking the exam? We're all in second high, you too. The 4 of us are taking the exam in the same school, but the venue is different, Meng Yao said. Your admission card is with us, luckily you brought it with you. Okay. Lin Yi nodded and started the car, heading towards second high as he told the 3 about his experiences in Frost Town. Including meeting Zhang Naipeo, participating in the Ice Palace's trial, getting first place in the trial, bargaining with the Ice Palace, and finally becoming an inner disciple of the Ice Palace. Ah! No way. Xiao Xiao's an inheritor. The Yin Qi in her body is actually a type of Yin body that is rarely seen in 1,000 years. Then wouldn't she become a heaven stage expert in 2 years? Yushu said enviously, no way, what's going to happen to my partner then? Meng Yao and Tang Yun were quite surprised. They didn't think that Xiao Xiao would have an opportunity like this. Not only did she wake up, she became an inner disciple of the Ice Palace, and after receiving the inheritance, she had the chance to become a sky class and the master of the Ice Palace. There's finally hope for Xiao Xiao now, and once she becomes a sky class, she'll be of great help to you in the future. Tang Yun couldn't help but sigh. Even Xiao Xiao had become a practitioner, and had the chance to become a sky class. It seemed like she was the most useless one now. Chapter 1570. When she first got together with Lin Yi, she thought that he was just a rich young master, but after interacting with Lin Yi, she realized that Lin Yi was different. Yeah, we'll have another bodyguard now. If you don't perform well, I'll fire you. Meng Yao said half-jokingly. In fact, she was quite envious of Xiao Xiao's luck. Oh, I want Shield Bro to be my personal bodyguard. Yushu said quickly. Meng Yao didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She was just joking, okay. Tang Yun couldn't help but smile. What, are you guys envious of Xiao Xiao? You want to be a practitioner too? Lin Yi said jokingly. Lin Yi, then do you think we can train? Meng Yao asked suddenly. Ah. Meng Yao's words startled Lin Yi. He'd only said it casually, but he didn't expect that Meng Yao. She was thinking of becoming a practitioner as well. Yeah, can we? Tang Yun asked. Yeah, I can't fall behind either. We're partners, we can't just let her be sky class in the future, right? Yushu added. Lin Yi didn't think that the 3 girls would be this interested in training. But training wasn't an easy thing. Not only did it require good potential, but it also required the practitioner's arts. Lin Yi didn't have any arts suitable for the girls, and the art of dragon mastery was definitely out of the question. Plus, the 3 girls were past the best age for training. They wanted to train. They could be like Zhang Naipeo, practicing some unorthodox martial arts for quick results, or they could be like Xiao Xiao, who had great potential and caught the eye of a big sect. Or they could find some suitable arts for them and train first, and then Lin Yi would forcefully increase their strength. From the looks of it, the third method was the most reliable. But finding suitable mental cultivation methods for them was not an easy task. Everyone had their own unique physique. It was not something that could be cultivated with just a random mantra. For example, in a family, the physique of a person who was related by blood. They were basically similar, so everyone cultivated the same kind of mental cultivation method, and this kind of mental cultivation method mnemonic chant. After many years of refinement and perfection, it was completely suitable for the cultivation of this family. Sects, on the other hand, were different. In a sect, there would be many kinds of mental cultivation methods for their disciples to choose from. Even so, some people still couldn't find a suitable mental cultivation method for their physique. As a result, his achievements on the path of cultivation were minimal and he had no progress at all. Therefore, a good teacher is hard to come by, but a good disciple is even harder to find. This was also the reason why Xiao Xiao became a hot commodity the moment she came to the Ice Palace. But looking at it from another point, no matter how talented Xiao Xiao was, if she hadn't gone to the Ice Palace and gone to the Everyday sect or some other ancient sect, she'd probably be treated like a trash body. This was also the reason why Lin Yi did not let those around him who did not have a cultivation foundation embark on the path of cultivation. It was naturally easy to find a simple mantra, but it was not easy to find a suitable mantra. Everyone's physique is different. Not everyone can become a cultivator. Not everyone can achieve something on the path of cultivation. Lin Yi pondered for a moment and explained, Xiao Xiao, this time, you have to be careful. It was a complete coincidence that you wanted to cultivate. It's not that you can't, but you need to find a mantra that suits you. Otherwise, not only will it be hard for you to improve, it'll be easy for you to go crazy. Lin Yi could just give them a random mantra and let them practice it. As long as they got to the beginner level, Lin Yi could use his methods to forcefully raise them to mystic early phase, but if the mantra didn't suit them, they might not be able to control the qi in their bodies. Just like Xiao Xiao before she started cultivating, she couldn't control the cold qi in her body and would go crazy. Ah! It's so complicated. Meng Yao was a little disappointed after hearing Lin Yi's words, but she knew that Lin Yi was telling the truth. Lin Yi wouldn't harm them, so she said helplessly, "Forget it then. Normal is good too. But can't we try?" Yushu wasn't willing to give up. "How about this, after our college entrance exams, I'll go back to my hometown. I was planning to bring Yunin, but if you and Yao Yao are free, why don't we go together? Just treat it as a vacation." Lin Yi said, "I'll ask my old man if there's a mantra that suits you guys. He's very knowledgeable, let him see your bodies first." Okay, the ugly wife is going to see the in-laws," Yushu said happily. "Shu, what are you talking about? Yunin isn't ugly." Meng Yao glared at her. "Oh. I'm not talking about Tang Yun sis, I'm talking about myself," Yushu said matter-of-factly. Meng Yao was speechless. Tang Yun covered her mouth and laughed. Lin Yi frowned. He was used to Shu's behavior. "Okay, let's go together then. We're all familiar with each other anyway," Tang Yun said. "Why don't I go alone? It's boring anyway. You guys can accompany each other." Tang Yun knew that Meng Yao didn't say anything because she was worried about her attitude. However, Tang Yun didn't have any hostility towards them anymore. They lived together every day. If they suddenly separated, she wouldn't be used to it. "Okay, that's fine." Meng Yao smiled at Tang Yun. Although it took some time, Lin Yi's driving skills were top-notch. The car weaved through the traffic and finally arrived at the entrance of the school 10 minutes before the exam. Lin Yi found a spot and parked the car. He then took the exam pass from Tang Yun. "Good luck." "Good luck," Lin Yi said to the three. "Shield bro, you too." Yushu raised her fist. "Everyone, good luck." Meng Yao nodded. "Good luck. University, we'll be together too," Tang Yun looked at Lin Yi shyly. The four of them entered the school and separated at the building. They went to different exam halls. Chapter 1571. Lin Yi's seat was close to the window. The lighting and environment were not bad. It seemed that his luck was not bad. Just as he was about to sit down, he heard someone calling him. "Lin Yi?" The voice was a little surprised, but also a little familiar. Lin Yi turned around and was surprised to find that the person sitting across from him was actually someone he knew. Wang Xinyan. Lin Yi felt that the world was too small. He actually met Wang Xinyan here. Speaking of which, the two of them were really fated. When they took the train, they sat side by side. When they took the plane, they also sat side by side. When they took the college entrance exam, they actually sat side by side. Wang Xinyan obviously thought of this as well. She smiled slightly, "What a coincidence. Yeah, we were actually assigned to the same exam room." Lin Yi also felt that the world was really small. Generally speaking, in the same exam room, the chances of meeting someone familiar was not very high. When the examinees were sorted, it was very unlikely that they would be assigned to the same classroom. However, Lin Yi and Wang Xinyan weren't classmates. They weren't even from the same school. Instead, they miraculously met here. "Good luck." Wang Xinyan shyly smiled at Lin Yi. "You too," Lin Yi said and sat down in his seat. Although the exam hadn't started yet, the classroom was very quiet. Lin Yi didn't want to say too much. He simply placed the stationery for the exam on the table. Lin Yi simply waited for the official exam to start. After a while, there was a commotion outside the exam room. Lin Yi thought that the exam was about to start, but the person who came wasn't the invigilator, but a bald man with a cigarette in his mouth. Beside him was a blonde who helped him carry his bag. "Young Master Yu, please." The blonde respectfully made a gesture of invitation and welcomed the bald man called Young Master Yu into the exam room. "What kind of crappy place is this? Why did they arrange such a crappy exam room for me?" The young man called Young Master Yu frowned, looking very unhappy. Before. The classroom, which was still filled with whispers, immediately quieted down. Some students showed expressions of disgust, some were indifferent, and some who were closer to them were a little afraid. "Yes. There's no air conditioning here." The yellow-haired man also echoed, "But young Master Yu, you only have a few hours. Can you just make do with it? Motherfucker, if it weren't for the family's emphasis on results, I wouldn't be here." Young Master Yu walked into the classroom while cursing, but he went straight to Lin Yi's side. "Here it is." The blondie was the first to open up a path behind Xinyan. He pointed to the note on the table and said, "Young Master Yu, please do it. If there's nothing else, I'll go back to my examination room first." This blondie wasn't from this examination hall, but another examination hall. He was only here to curry favor. Young Master Yu nodded and followed, but he didn't sit in his seat. He stood in front of Xinyan's desk and picked up the admission ticket. "Not bad, not bad. Little girl, you're from second middle school, then your studies must be very good. When you're done, copy the answers on a piece of paper and send it to me." Songshan Second High School was also a key high school, but it wasn't a private high school, it was a public high school. However, the quality of teaching was almost the same as the first high school. It was just that it was more difficult for the students to enter the second high school than the first high school. Compared to a private high school like the first high school, all of them had taken the entrance exam normally. He didn't pay for it himself. Of course, there were still temporary students, but they didn't have a student status in number 2 middle school. When they took the college entrance examination, they would write their original school on their admission ticket. Therefore, when young Master Yu saw that Wang Xinyan was a student from second middle, he naturally knew that she was the type of person who was good at studying. This. Wang Xinyan was shocked by young Master Yu. She looked at the baldy in front of her in horror, not knowing how to answer. Wang Xinyan was absolutely unwilling to help him cheat. Putting aside the fact that Wang Xinyan hated cheating, even if Wang Xinyan reluctantly agreed, what if the invigilator found out when she was passing the answers? Wouldn't she be implicated? Can you do it or not? Say something. Young Master Yu saw Wang Xinyan stammering and suddenly became a little impatient. "Damn it, don't refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. Little girl, do you know who young Master Yu is?" The blonde slammed Wang Xinyan's desk and scolded, "Let me tell you, if you do as young Master Yu says, we'll be fine. Otherwise, if you walk out of this examination room and something happens, it'll be hard to say. I heard that there's a perverted robber recently who specializes in robbing and harassing young girls." Pfft. Lin Yi was thinking about where did this young Master Yu come from, but he heard this blonde suddenly bring the topic to the fake Lin Yi. He suddenly couldn't help but laugh. It seemed that this guy still didn't know that the fake Lin Yi had been caught, and he was still using this matter to threaten others. "What are you laughing at?" The blonde was looking for someone to attack. After all, Wang Xinyan was a girl. He could threaten her, but he couldn't beat her up in the classroom, right? At this time, there was someone who didn't have eyes, who came to his door. The blonde suddenly became excited as if he was injected with chicken blood. He turned his head and pointed at Lin Yi angrily, "Stand up, what are you laughing at? Do you want to die? Do you believe that I can kill you?" The blonde couldn't be blamed for being arrogant because young Master Yu came from the Hidden House Yu. This Hidden House Yu was considered one of the top families in Donghai City. It was on the same level as the Hidden House Xiao and others. It was even slightly higher than the Hidden House Xiao. This didn't mean that there were many masters in the Hidden House Yu, but it was because the Hidden House Yu was a medical family. There were many medical masters in the family, and most importantly, the Hidden House Yu had alchemists. Therefore, this also confirmed the extraordinary status of the Hidden House Yu. Moreover, it was said that the Hidden House Yu was a branch of the ancient sect, the Heavenly Elixir sect. This also increased the importance of the Hidden House Yu in front of the other hidden families. Of course, this was only a legend. No one knew whether the Hidden House Yu was related to the Heavenly Elixir sect or not. The master of the Hidden House Yu didn't explain this matter. In short, everything was very mysterious. Chapter 1572. Get him to the hospital. Earth rank and above experts were usually hired guards, not core members of the Hidden Yu family. On the web, this yellow-haired man was young Master Yu's servant. He was also a study companion and bodyguard, so he was naturally arrogant and domineering. Laughing at you. Lin Yi looked at the yellow-haired man without fear. But what made Lin Yi feel strange was that this yellow-haired man who looked like a gangster actually had the inner strength of an early mystic class. This also made Lin Yi interested in the identity of young Master Yu. Could it be that this young Master Yu came from an aristocratic family or a hidden aristocratic family? It was impossible for him to be an aristocratic family. Lin Yi was clear about the 4 major aristocratic families and 5 minor aristocratic families. The only possibility was that this young Master Yu came from a hidden aristocratic family. But, even if she was from a hidden house, Lin Yi wouldn't back down. Wang Xinyan was Lin Yi's friend, after all. Plus, Wang Xinyan's kindness on the train had left a good impression on Lin Yi. Moreover, Lin Yi had a good impression of this pretty, quiet girl. Naturally, he would not ignore her when she was in trouble. The blondie didn't expect Lin Yi to dare to say something like that. Of course, he was only stunned for a moment before he came to a realization. In his opinion, Lin Yi was fearless because he didn't know how powerful he was. If this was in the small circle of the hidden aristocratic family's disciples, even those who were stronger than him would have to respectfully call him Brother Yellow Hair. The situation of a fox borrowing the tiger's might and a dog relying on its master's power was vividly displayed by Goldie. It couldn't be helped. All the hidden aristocratic families had to seek help from the Hidden Yu family. Whether it was a family member who had a strange disease or some low-level elixir, they had to seek help from the Hidden Yu family. This was also the reason why the Hidden Yu family had such a high status. It was the same reason why those ordinary aristocratic families valued Guan Xuemin and Lin Yi so much. Of course, in terms of concealment, the famous doctors in the secular world were not so important. Send him to the hospital. He doesn't have to take the exam. Young Master Yu glanced at Lin Yi and instructed the blonde. Since they dared to challenge the authority of the Yu family, he naturally would not let them off easily. Yes. After the yellow hair listened to young Master Yu's words, he reached out and hit Lin Yi without hesitation. An early phase mystic wasn't even enough to warm up for Lin Yi right now. The yellow hair's fists seemed to be extremely fast, but in Lin Yi's eyes, it was like slow motion in a movie. Lin Yi easily caught the yellow hair's right hand and squeezed it lightly, and the yellow hair's arm made a weak crisp sound. Lin Yi didn't want to cause trouble in the examination room, so he controlled his strength very well. He only cracked the yellow-haired guy's arm, but didn't break any bones. It didn't seem to be a big wound, but it was extremely painful and swollen. 7 *. The sound of the bone cracking was so soft that young Master Yu didn't hear it, but the yellow hair clearly heard the crisp sound of the bones in his arm. It was so painful that he almost cried out, but in order to not lose face, he gritted his teeth and endured it. At this time, Lin Yi made a move again. He directly grabbed the yellow hair's hair and lifted him up. It seemed that Lin Yi's action was like a street fight, but only the yellow hair knew that it wasn't like this. He was a cultivator. His lower body was very stable and solid. Even if his arm was broken, his leg was not injured. If he could be so easily lifted by someone else, then the other party's strength must be far beyond his. Thinking of this, the yellow hair's expression changed slightly. He didn't expect to meet a cultivator here, and it was a cultivator who was a level stronger than him. Are you in this examination room? If not, then get out of here. Don't be a hindrance here. Lin Yi directly carried the yellow hair and walked to the window sill. Yellow hair, what are you doing? Hit him with true chi and cripple this kid. Young Master Yu was a little anxious. He didn't know what the yellow hair was doing. He knew the yellow hair's strength, but in the scene just now, from what he saw, the yellow hair didn't use true chi, but fought with Lin Yi like a street fight. Of course, other than the yellow hair himself, no one knew the real situation. The yellow hair was like a street fight, and when Lin Yi taught the yellow hair a lesson, it looked like a fight between ordinary students. It didn't look like a battle between cultivators at all. However, only the yellow hair knew that this wasn't the case. Lin Yi was actually a master with the strength of the early phase of the mystic class. Of course, this was only what he felt. Lin Yi was only one level higher than him, and he could easily deal with him. So, Lin Yi suppressed his strength to the peak of the early phase of the mystic class, and didn't release the strength of the late phase of the mystic class. Peak of the early phase of the mystic class. Although the yellow hair felt Lin Yi's strength, it was still a little unbelievable. He didn't believe that there was such a master among the students in the exam. One had to know that it was very difficult to have a cultivator in the secular world. Could it be that Lin Yi was from a noble family or a hidden noble family? But he had never heard of such a person. Just as he was thinking about this, Lin Yi had already opened the window of the classroom, and then casually threw the yellow hair down from the third-floor window like throwing garbage. The yellow hair was an early phase of the mystic class. Naturally, he wouldn't be injured from this height, so Lin Yi didn't have to worry about causing any bloodshed in the exam. However, what Lin Yi did attracted a lot of exclamations from the other students. They didn't think that Lin Yi would be so violent, throwing someone down from the third-floor window. Although they felt that Lin Yi's method was very satisfying, since they also hated the yellow hair, the students were worried for Lin Yi. If he really caused a murder, then Lin Yi didn't need to participate in the college entrance exam. Wang Xinyan covered her mouth in horror. She didn't think that Lin Yi would do this. If Lin Yi really couldn't participate in the college entrance exam and became a murderer because of her, then Wang Xinyan would never be able to live with her conscience for the rest of her life. However, when the students near the window looked down, they saw the yellow hair climbing up from the ground as if nothing had happened, and his eyes were filled with hatred towards Lin Yi's direction. However, at this time, Lin Yi was already sitting on his seat, and he didn't care about the yellow hair at all. Young Master Yu naturally knew that the yellow hair wouldn't die from falling, but he was also very shocked by Lin Yi. Why did this person throw the yellow hair down? Why didn't the yellow hair resist? Chapter 1573. Therefore, young Master Yu was suddenly in a dilemma. With Lin Yi around, he naturally didn't dare to ask Wang Xinyan for anything, but if he gave up just like that, it would be a little embarrassing. What's more, he didn't know anything about the exam questions at all. If no one copied for him, he could only get a few points right on the multiple-choice questions. He wouldn't get a single point for the other questions. He's actually fine. Is he filming a stunt movie? A student by the window said in surprise. The students sitting in other seats also leaned over. Sure enough, nothing happened to Huang Mao. The field that was originally thought to be full of blood was also clean. Wang Xinyan heard that Huang Mao was fine, and she breathed a sigh of relief. She looked at Lin Yi gratefully, but she didn't speak because young Master Yu was still standing beside her. Are you going to take the exam or get lost? Or do you want me to send you on your way? Do you want to be a Superman? I'll let you enjoy the trapeze treatment. Lin Yi glanced at young Master Yu and asked. Wait and see. Young Master Yu glanced at Lin Yi and said hatefully. Although he didn't understand what was going on, there was no point for him to stay. He definitely couldn't threaten Wang Xinyan now. Naturally, he wouldn't be able to answer a single question during the exam. What was the point of staying and wasting time? What's more, young Master Yu wanted to find brother Huang Maowen quickly and ask him what happened just now. Why didn't he resist but was thrown downstairs by Lin Yi instead? Oh. Lin Yi responded faintly. Young Master Yu suddenly felt that he had lost face. His words were just for show, but he didn't take it seriously at all. Even if Lin Yi said, "Who's afraid of who?" It was still better than now. Now, Lin Yi's simple, "Oh." It was simply ignoring him. Young Master Yu looked at Lin Yi with resentment, remembered his appearance and the name on the admission ticket, and then left the examination room without looking back. After young Master Yu left the examination room, the candidates in the examination room suddenly burst into laughter. Lin Yi's actions were to everyone's satisfaction. Previously, they saw young Master Yu and the yellow-haired man's ferocious look. Although they were disgusted, they didn't dare to say anything. After all, everyone was here to participate in the exam. No one wanted to cause trouble. If they could endure it, they would naturally endure it. However, Lin Yi's actions represented their sincerity. At this time, they were naturally very happy. Someone spontaneously applauded for Lin Yi. You didn't suffer from any shock, did you? It won't affect your mood, will it? Lin Yi turned to Xinyan. I won't. Xinyan shook her head, before. Thank you so much. It's nothing. Lin Yi was just about to ask Xinyan how things were going in Yanjing when the exam bell rang. The exam was about to begin, and the invigilator walked into the exam hall. The classroom became quiet as well. Lin Yi smiled at Xinyan, but didn't say anything. He adjusted his state and prepared for the exam. After being humiliated by Lin Yi, young Master Yu didn't have the mood to continue participating in the exam. After leaving the building, he saw the yellow-haired man standing on the field waiting. He couldn't help but feel annoyed. He said angrily, "What are you doing? Why did you let him throw you down? Do you really want to be a plane? Why didn't you teach him a lesson? You made me, your young master, lose face." Young Master Yu. It's not that I don't want to, but the opponent is too strong. He's a master at the peak of the early phase of the mystic class. He's one level higher than me. I have no chance of winning at all. I don't even have the chance to resist. The yellow-haired man smiled bitterly. What? You said he's a master at the peak of the early phase of the mystic class. How is that possible? How can there be such a powerful master in a small Songshan city? Young Master Yu was shocked after hearing the yellow-haired man's words. Is there a hidden house here? I've never heard of a hidden house, but there are a few descendants of noble houses. It's just that in our family's information, there's no such person in the younger generation. The yellow-haired man said. Could it be a solo practitioner? Young Master Yu was stunned. That's possible. The yellow-haired man nodded because other than that, he couldn't think of any other possibilities. I really didn't expect that in a small place like Songshan City, there would be crouching tigers and hidden dragons. If I knew it would be like this, I would have come here to play. Young Master Yu said proudly. He said this because he put himself in a very high position. He wanted to find an excuse for being humiliated by Lin Yi. What he meant was that he didn't put the practitioners here in his eyes at all. Now it seemed that it was a little interesting. It was just that he underestimated the enemy before. They're just a few shrimp soldiers and crab generals. How can they enter young Master Yu's eyes? The yellow-haired man said, Young Master Yu, the purple hair and the others aren't in this exam hall. Do you need to call them over? The purple hair was also one of young Master Yu's followers. He was also a master recruited by the Yu family. To put it bluntly, these people were some practitioners who weren't welcomed by other hidden houses and small sects, so they relied on the hidden Yu family. With the support of a large number of medicinal pills and elixirs from the hidden Yu family, they had some achievements on the path of cultivation. Young Master Yu wasn't originally a student of Songshan City, but he caused some trouble in Donghai City's school. He also injured a disciple who was responsible for making money outside. The hidden Yu family couldn't protect him anymore, so they could only transfer young Master Yu to Songshan City to avoid the limelight. Naturally, his followers also transferred over. It was just that after young Master Yu transferred over, he didn't come to Songshan City for a day. He just ate, drank, and played outside every day. The college entrance examination was just a formality for young Master Yu. With the hidden Yu family's financial resources, it wasn't a problem for these people to go to college. However, the old man of the Yu family was an alchemist and also a learned person, so he attached more importance to academics. Naturally, he wanted his family's children to go to college with their own ability. However, this young Master Yu wasn't the direct descendant of the hidden Yu family. So even if he went to college, he would only get a smile from the old man of the Yu family and get some rewards. Therefore, young Master Yu didn't care very much. Chapter 1574. Faded, and that girl, she looks pretty good. White and tender. I like this kind of good student girl the most. Keep an eye on her later. Young Master Yu ordered the blonde. 7 asterisk, don't worry, young Master Yu. I'll get it done. The blonde had been with young Master Yu for so long and knew his hobbies like the back of his hand. Every time young Master Yu harmed a girl, he was the one who helped. In the exam room, Lin Yi still didn't know that young Master Yu was already looking for someone downstairs. If Lin Yi knew that this kid was so evil, he would have done something to him. The first morning exam ended quickly. Although Lin Yi had finished the paper, he didn't hand it in early. Similarly, Lin Yi also saw that Wang Xinyan had already finished answering the questions, but she was seriously checking them over and over again. After handing in the paper, Lin Yi and Wang Xinyan walked out of the exam room side by side. You, Lin Yi and Wang Xinyan spoke almost at the same time. You first. Wang Xinyan said to Lin Yi. You first. Lin Yi said at the same time. How did you do? The two asked in unison again. After that, the two couldn't help but look at each other and laugh. They both felt that it was unbelievable for each other. Speaking of which, Lin Yi felt that it was really fate between him and Wang Xinyan. There were too many coincidences between them. Whether it was going out or taking an exam, he would always accidentally meet her. It's all right. Wang Xinyan smiled. Thank you for what you did just now, but your method was a bit too dangerous. In Wang Xinyan's eyes, Lin Yi was an incredible person. From the first time she saw him, it was full of inconceivable. On the train, he was cheated by a few scammers. She even foolishly wanted to remind him, but when she got off the train, she found out that the scammers' money all fell into Lin Yi's backpack. The second time was in the commercial district. He was mistaken for hitting someone with his car. As a result, Lin Yi quickly woke up the old man and helped him out. This time, however, was even more frightening. Lin Yi had thrown the person who'd pissed her off out of the window on the 3rd floor. Thank goodness that person was fine, Lin Yi would have been a murderer otherwise. It's not dangerous. That person is a cultivator. He won't fall to his death. Lin Yi knew that Xinyan was related to House Xiao, and that she must know about practitioners as well. He explained it to her honestly. Cultivator. It can't be, right? So. You're a practitioner too. Xin Yan's eyes were wide as she looked at Lin Yi curiously. Although the term cultivator wasn't unfamiliar to Xin Yan, it was still a bit distant. The Xiao family was one of the noble houses, but other than Uncle Pai, there weren't any other practitioners in the Xiao family. After Uncle Pai died, there were a few more practitioners, but the Xiao family had already cancelled their engagement with the Kong family, and the Xiao family never contacted Xin Yan again. Naturally, Xin Yan's relationship with the Xiao family had faded. So even if Xin Yan knew about cultivators, it was just hearsay. She'd never even seen Uncle Pai's face, and the only cultivator she'd ever met was Wu Qintian. At that time, Xin Yan thought that cultivators were something far away from her, out of reach. But she didn't expect that Lin Yi was a practitioner. At this time, Xin Yan finally understood why Lin Yi was so strong. He was a practitioner. Naturally, for a practitioner, tricking a couple of scammers, saving a normal person, or throwing that blondie out of a window wasn't anything strange. Yes, I'm a bit stronger than him. Lin Yi smiled. How are you? Did you solve your problems in Yanjing? Aren't you getting engaged to Kong Xiaolong? The relationship between Lin Yi and Xin Yan was a little weird. It was like the kind of friendship between gentlemen, but it was warmer than normal friends. There wasn't too much of a relationship between a man and a woman. There wasn't any kind of passion between the two, but there was an indescribable tacit understanding between them. House Xiao and House Kong are at loggerheads, so there's no point in me getting married anymore. Xin Yan said with a self-mocking shrug. I'm just a tool for their marriage alliance. They'll pick me up when they need me, and they won't care about me when they don't. But isn't this better? At least you don't have to marry someone you don't like anymore. Lin Yi could hear the bitterness in Xin Yan's voice and comforted her. Yes, it's better this way. Xin Yan smiled. This way, I can come back and go to school peacefully. The two walked out of the school building together. Lin Yi said to Xin Yan, I'm waiting for someone here. Do you want to go first, or do you want to come later? Girlfriend? Xin Yan asked subconsciously. She saw Xiao Xiao in Yanjing before, so naturally, she thought it was Xiao Xiao. Yeah. Lin Yi didn't deny it. Then I'll go first. I won't bother you guys anymore. Xin Yan smiled and waved at Lin Yi before walking quickly to the school gate. At this time, Purple and Blue Hair were already waiting with Master Yu and Blondie at the entrance of the exam hall, staring at the students coming out of the school gate. Students kept a respectful distance from these people who obviously didn't look like good people. Xin Yan saw them after walking out of the school and was shocked. She didn't need to think too much to know that these people were coming for Lin Yi. Xin Yan turned around and ran into the school. Master Yu, that girl is over there. Master Yu stared at Lin Yi, and Blondie kept staring at Xin Yan. He didn't forget what Master Yu entrusted to him. Why did she run away? Young Master Yu saw Wang Xin Yan as well. He frowned and said, bring her back. Blondie nodded and just wanted to chase after her, but he was stopped by the school's security at the entrance. Currently, people could only leave the exam hall but not enter. Blondie frowned. He wanted to get angry, but he remembered that this was the exam hall. If they really caused trouble, he wasn't afraid of anything, but he was afraid that his old man would blame him. One had to know that the old man valued a scholarly family very much. If he found out about this kind of behavior that caused trouble in the exam hall, Master Yu might not have a good time. So after hesitating for a while, Blondie returned and said to Master Yu, there are security guards blocking us from entering the school. This is the exam hall. If we cause trouble, it won't be good. Chapter 1575. Chapter 1574, don't dare to attack. Lin Yi was waiting in front of the school building. Meng Yao, Yushu, and Tang Yun soon came out. Everyone handed in their papers at the last moment, so it was about time for them to come out. How did you guys do? Lin Yi asked the three with a smile. Not bad. The three girls nodded in satisfaction in unison. A while ago, they had made ample preparations at home, and had done a lot of exercise books, so these exam questions were generally easy to solve. As they were talking, Meng Yao was surprised to see Wang Xinyan running towards them. She had some impression of this girl. Back in the business district, Lin Yi had helped her solve a small problem. Meng Yao had some hostility towards Lin Yi back then, so Wang Xinyan left a deep impression on her. Is she looking for you? Meng Yao turned to Lin Yi and asked. Although Meng Yao wouldn't be angry about it now, she still couldn't let go of what happened back then. Lin Yi paused and raised his head to see Wang Xinyan running towards him. He was confused. Wang Xinyan, what's wrong? What happened? Lin Yi, that master you from before found a few more people, and they're waiting at the door. Wang Xinyan wanted to say that she would wait for him, but after thinking about it, she was the cause of it. How could she push it away? Found people again. Lin Yi found it funny. Did this guy have a bad memory? Or was it that blonde's brain? He had obviously been merciful. Otherwise, it would have been easy for him to cripple him, let alone kill him instantly. Yet, this guy didn't disappear immediately and instead found someone to deal with him. What's going on? Lin Yi? Tang Yun heard that there were people waiting for him outside the school, and she asked nervously. 7 asterisk, Lin Yi, on the other hand, didn't think much of it. He briefly explained the situation to Tang Yun and the others, an early mystic class master and a young master from an unknown noble house. Let's go out and take care of them. Then the helpers he found. Tang Yin was a little worried. Let's wait and see, said Lin Yi. Xinyan felt a little dizzy when she saw Meng Yao, Yushu, and Tang Yun. Why were there 3 beauties beside Lin Yi? Wasn't his girlfriend Xiao Xiao? Why isn't he here? Sorry for the trouble. Xinyan didn't know who the 3 beauties were to Lin Yi, but judging from how much they cared about Lin Yi, they had to be close. On the web, it's nothing. Tang Yun shook her head. She sympathized with Wang Xinyan. If Lin Yi wasn't there at that time, Wang Xinyan would definitely be bullied by Master Yu. If she really did as Master Yu said, then Wang Xinyan would probably be kicked out of the examination hall for cheating. My name is Wang Xinyan. Nice to meet you. Xinyan heard Tang Yun's words and felt relieved. I'm Tang Yun, Lin Yi's girlfriend. Nice to meet you, Tang Yun said and introduced Meng Yao and Yushu to Xinyan. Tang Yun said as she introduced Meng Yao and Yushu to Xinyan. This is Meng Yao, my good friend, and this is Yushu, Meng Yao's good sister and my good friend. Hello, I'm Shield Bro's small wife. Yushu greeted Xinyan. Shield Bro. Xinyan was slightly surprised. It's Lin Yi, Tang Yun explained with a smile. That's Shu's personality, she likes to joke around. It'll be fine once you get used to it. Oh. Xinyan looked at Tang Yun strangely. Why wasn't she angry when someone said she was her boyfriend's small wife? Right. Xinyan thought of Xiao Xiao abruptly, and looked at Lin Yi strangely. She wanted to ask, but didn't know if she'd cause trouble for Lin Yi if she just said it out loud. What if it was his lover outside? Or, was Tang Yun his lover? So, Xinyan could only keep this question in her heart. The 5 of them walked out of the school together. Lin Yi saw the yellow hair and Master Yu, as well as the 2 followers beside them. Lin Yi knew how strong these 2 were. With Lin Yi's current strength, he didn't put them in his eyes at all. It's them. Xinyan pointed at the school gate worriedly. Ha! Lin Yi smiled. Don't worry, they won't dare to do anything. Won't dare to do anything. Xinyan was surprised. Yeah, if you don't believe me, let's make a bet. We'll just walk out like this and Master Yu's 3 followers won't dare to do anything. Lin Yi said. Ah. Xinyan blinked. She thought that Lin Yi's words were a bit strange, but seeing Lin Yi's confident face, Xinyan suddenly remembered how calm Lin Yi was when he met a scammer on the train. Could it be that he already had a plan? But, Xinyan still couldn't help but ask, bet, what? Lin Yi really didn't know what to bet. He was just saying it casually. Naturally, he wouldn't really bet anything with Xinyan. How about? If you lose, you promise me one thing, and if I lose, I promise you one thing. Lin Yi said casually. That. Xinyan blushed, evidently thinking of more things. That's not good. Lin Yi shook his head helplessly. How about if you win, you promise me one thing, and if I win, I promise you one thing. That. Sure. Xinyan heard Lin Yi and couldn't say no. It seemed like Lin Yi didn't have any other intentions. Xinyan was a little embarrassed that she thought badly of Lin Yi. But it wasn't Xinyan's fault for being cautious. After the engagement with House Kong, Xinyan was extra cautious, afraid that she would fall into someone else's trap again. Oh, Shield Bro, are you trying to lose on purpose? Yushu said with a smile. Shu, don't talk nonsense. Meng Yao saw Xinyan's awkwardness. Xinyan was also shocked by Shu's words, but seeing that Lin Yi was calm, she didn't say anything. And so, the 5 of them walked towards the direction of the school gate. Master Yu, they're coming. What should we do? Just say the word. Blondie saw Lin Yi walking over and said quickly. Although yellow hair, purple hair, and blue hair weren't weak, they were all above the mystic class. But their strength was completely increased by the elixirs provided by the hidden house Yu, and they weren't as young as they looked. They were young only because they took the medicine that was made by the hidden Yu family to delay aging. The purpose was to look similar to Master Yu. They could accompany him to school outside and play the role of protecting Master Yu. 7 asterisk. Although the hidden house Yu was strong, it wasn't good to send a bunch of uncles to school, was it? If that happened, Master Yu would lose face. So in reality, yellow hair, purple hair, and blue hair were already in their 30s, it was just that they looked younger. But they had the elixirs to delay aging. They didn't believe that Lin Yi had it too. In this case, being a mystic class late phase before the age of 20, this was definitely a target that the hidden family would focus on. Not to mention the hidden families, even the ancient families would pay attention to such a genius. Because of this, they had this layer of worry, and they didn't dare to make a move. So, Lin Yi brought the 4 girls and walked in front of them. They didn't move at all. Only Master Yu, who didn't know anything, pointed at Lin Yi arrogantly and said, beat him until he's a first-class cripple, and grab all his girls for me. Hearing Master Yu's words, Wang Xinyan was a little worried, but Lin Yi gave her a comforting look and said, since when was there a mental patient at the school gate? What did you say? Master Yu didn't think that Lin Yi would still be so arrogant after seeing so many helpers, and immediately became furious. Yellow hair, do it, kill him. Lin Yi didn't care about Master Yu, but looked at yellow hair and the others with disdain, and said mockingly, if you don't want to die, then come. You know the rules of the hidden families. The last sentence was said casually by Lin Yi, but Lin Yi wasn't very clear about the rules of the hidden families, but he said it to prove to them that Lin Yi was also standing on the same level, and if they wanted to make a move, they had to think twice. As expected, Lin Yi's words made everyone's face change at the same time, including Master Yu. Hidden families, this person actually knew about the hidden families. Generally speaking, it was already very good for a solo practitioner to be able to come into contact with the level of a noble house in the common world. To be able to stand on the level of a hidden family, either they had very powerful strength, or they had a master guiding them from behind. After Lin Yi said this, he strode away with the 4 girls, leaving behind Master Yu, who was a little uncertain. To be honest, although young Master Yu was arrogant, he rarely provoked the children of families that were similar to the hidden Yu family. This was because he wasn't the direct descendant of the first wife. He wasn't very popular in the family. If he provoked an irresistible enemy for the family, it would be troublesome. After Lin Yi and the others left, Master Yu said, "Why didn't you guys make a move? Is he also from a hidden family?" "We're not sure if he's from a hidden family or not." Yellow Hair smiled bitterly, "Master Yu, but he's a master with the strength of a mystic late phase, before. Maybe he didn't use his full strength, and the few of us weren't his match." "What? Mystic late phase?" Master Yu was shocked. Naturally, he understood the power of a mystic late phase master. He glanced at the few followers beside him, and they really weren't his match. If they made a move, they would definitely be at a disadvantage. This person's background is unknown. "Master Yu, I suggest that we investigate his background first, or else we might get into trouble," Purple Hair said. "Then we'll investigate it." Master Yu was a little unwilling, but there was nothing he could do. He had already made a big statement, and at this moment, he could only leave with his tail between his legs. He didn't even dare to fart as he watched them leave. Wang Xinyan saw that Master Yu and the others really didn't dare to make a move, and she was very surprised. She couldn't figure it out, and when Lin Yi arrived at the parking lot, she was still immersed in the scene just now. Chapter 1577. The fainted old man, "We're leaving, what about you?" Lin Yi asked, seeing that Xinyan seemed to be distracted. "Time, It's nothing. Why don't I treat you guys to a meal to express my gratitude?" Xinyan said, coming back to her senses. "No need for dinner, we still have exams in the afternoon, we don't have enough time." Lin Yi rejected with a smile, "But be careful when you go to the exam this afternoon. I'm afraid that Master Yu isn't satisfied yet." "Right. Why? Why didn't they do anything just now?" Xinyan couldn't help but ask. Their strongest is a mystic mid-phase, they're not as strong as me, so naturally they wouldn't dare do anything, Lin Yi explained with a shrug. So that's it. Xinyan understood, but jumped up in shock as she looked at Lin Yi, then. "What's your strength level?" Xinyan knew that the strongest person in the Xiao family, Uncle Pai, was only a mystic early phase, Wuxia Chronicles was only a golden class early phase, and this Master Yu's follower was a mystic mid-phase. How strong was Lin Yi? Didn't that mean that Lin Yi was stronger than the Xiao family, Wuxia Chronicles, and the others? Didn't that mean that Lin Yi was stronger than the masters from the noble houses? How was that possible? Just a little stronger than them. Lin Yi said with a smile. He wasn't that close with Xinyan, and naturally wouldn't tell her everything. He was already treating her as a good friend by saying so much. "Oh." Xinyan didn't ask much, "Then after the exams, I'll treat everyone to dinner, then. I'll be going first." Lin Yi nodded and waved at her before getting in the car. Xinyan, on the other hand, walked to a red sports car not far from the car park, the same car she drove in Songshan's business district. "Shield bro, you're messing around again, I have to watch over you for Xiao Xiao," Yushu said after getting in the car. "Hee, just an ordinary friend." With that, Lin Yi told everyone about Xinyan, including her relationship with the Xiao family and the engagement with House Kong. "No way. She's related to that old woman?" Yushu's eyes widened in shock. "Yes, but they're not the same kind of people," Lin Yi said. "So she's a pitiful person. So the person she saw last time was Feng Xiaoxiao. No wonder she looked at me so strangely, she must have thought I was the mistress." Tang Yun smiled bitterly. 7*, Yushu smiled at Tang Yun's words. I think so too, she must have misunderstood. During the afternoon exam, young master, you didn't come to make trouble again. Lin Yi's worries were unnecessary. It seemed that young master you wouldn't act rashly before figuring out Lin Yi's background. When they entered the exam room, Lin Yi and Xinyan looked at each other and smiled, but didn't say anything. What a strange person. Xinyan looked at Lin Yi and couldn't help but shake her head. The second day of the exam passed uneventfully. The exam questions weren't too difficult for people like Lin Yi. Lin Yi was slightly surprised and said, "Where can I learn it?" "Learn from me," said the old man. "I'm sorry, I still have to take the exam." Lin Yi smiled and shook his head. He didn't take the old man's words to heart. He himself fainted from heatstroke. Lin Yi didn't believe that the old man knew medical skills. Even if he knew, Lin Yi had old man Lin, the miracle doctor, here. He didn't need to learn from others. Ah! The old man was a little disappointed. He stood up with the help of his grandson. Then you go take the exam first. I'll wait for you here. Chapter 1578. A strange suggestion, Gramps, your meridians are all blocked. I don't know how you can still stand, but if you continue like this, you might end up in a wheelchair. Lin Yi reminded him in a friendly manner, you should go back and rest. 7 After hearing Lin Yi's words, the old man's expression changed. He looked at Lin Yi with an inexplicable look, young man, I want to take you as my disciple and teach you medicine. Do you want to consider it? Gramps, you should go back first. I'm in a hurry for the exam, Lin Yi shook his head. This is my contact number. Think about it and contact me. The old man wanted to say something, but he stopped after considering the people around him. Instead, he gave Lin Yi a business card. Lin Yi couldn't reject it. He took a look and realized that the old man's family owned a pharmacy. This explained why the old man knew a little about medicine. However, Lin Yi didn't think much of it. He put the business card in his pocket and walked into the exam room with Tang Yun and the others. The old man sighed and let his grandson go for the exam. He shook his head and walked into the shade, thank you for just now. I didn't know that you are also a candidate. The old man's grandson caught up to Lin Yi and thanked him. 7 N, it's nothing. It's nothing, Lin Yi said faintly. My name is Bai Weituo. I am also a candidate this year, the boy introduced himself. Lin Yi nodded to him. Seeing that Lin Yi wasn't very enthusiastic, Bai Weituo didn't say anything else. This little interlude was over quickly, and there were no more surprises. They parted ways in front of the school building, and Bai Weituo went to his own exam room. Lin Yi nodded to Xinyan again. This was the last subject of the exam, and it wouldn't be easy for Lin Yi and Xinyan to meet again after it was over. Still, they had each other's phone numbers, so there was no need to worry about not being able to contact each other. The 3 days of college entrance exams came to an end quickly. This was probably the happiest moment for most of the students in the past few months. They could finally put down their textbooks and play to their heart's content. Meng Yao and the others were no exception. Previously, when Lin Yi was away, the 3 of them had been revising their lessons every day in order to deal with the college entrance examination. Now, they could finally be free. We have to celebrate tonight. Yushu said as she stretched her body. You guys celebrate, I still need to go to the police station, and then to the hospital to see Chintian and Lingshan. Lin Yi said, I've been busy with the college entrance examination these days. I didn't have time to deal with the robber. Yeah, what's going on with that robber? He seemed to be trying to frame you, right? Lin Yi, you have to get to the bottom of this. Meng Yao suddenly remembered the fake Lin Yi incident. Yeah, I'll go take a look first. Lin Yi nodded. Since Lin Yi had things to do, Lin Yi left the three girls in the villa and drove to the police station. At the police station, Lin Yi, accompanied by Huaijuan and Lu Wangli, made a simple statement. After all, Ling Shan and Qin Tian were both eyewitnesses, and Lin Yi's statement was more or less the same as theirs. Lin Yi, to be honest, I almost misunderstood you, I'm so sorry. Lu Wangli saw Lin Yi and explained a little embarrassedly, I went to your villa to investigate, but it seems like it was just a misunderstanding. It's nothing, after all, I almost thought it was a clone when I first saw him. Lin Yi said. It's good that you understand. If we don't catch the suspect, we won't be able to clear your name. After all, the information we had was only pictures, and the suspect was extremely cunning. He wouldn't leave fingerprints or anything like that when he committed the crime. Lu Wangli smiled bitterly, so, the only target we had was you. This person, just who is he? What's his purpose in doing this? Lin Yi frowned after hearing Lu Wangli's words. Lin Yi had heard about the whole case from Meng Yao, and just as Lu Wangli said, this person was extremely cunning. He didn't leave fingerprints when he committed the crime, which meant that he was a very careful person. Would someone like that use a car that was so obvious? And with a TT000 license plate, wasn't he just waiting for the police to find him? This was a contradiction. According to our analysis, this person's purpose might be to frame you. Lu Wangli said. This person covered his face at first, and then slowly revealed his face and the car. He's probably slowly revealing his purpose. Since he's already exposed, and didn't leave any fingerprints when he committed the crime, it means that he can't imitate your fingerprints. I think so too. This person wants to frame me, but which side is he on? Lin Yi frowned. He couldn't figure out who would use such a low-level method to frame him. I'm not sure yet, but this person's purpose, other than framing you, is to rob multiple banks, gold shops, shopping malls, and hotels in Songshan. He took a huge amount of wealth. Lu Wangli said. Oh. Any results from your interrogation? Lin Yi asked. I was planning on coming to you tomorrow after your exams, but I didn't think you'd come today. Huaijuan smiled bitterly. The suspect's in the hospital right now. But, I only broke his limbs, it shouldn't affect his speech, right? Lin Yi asked. Not really. Huaijuan said. But the problem is, this person's like an idiot right now. His eyes are lifeless, and he doesn't respond at all when we ask him, what's going on? Lin Yi frowned as he recalled what had happened. He didn't seem to have touched the fake Lin Yi's head, and the fake Lin Yi was acting strangely when he made his move. His brain waves didn't change at all when we asked him questions, which means that he didn't hear us at all. The doctor also took a closer look, and the suspect's brain was damaged by drugs. He's basically in a vegetative state. Huaijuan smiled bitterly. This person is actually an idiot. Ah. Lin Yi blinked. Idiot? Then what about before? We've invited a professional neurologist to take a look at him, and he said that he might have been hypnotized by a very skilled hypnotist, and that he was only following the instructions of a hypnotist. But it's a very difficult thing to do. Huaijuan smiled bitterly. I wanted to ask you if you had any confidence in curing this person. Chapter 1579. That. We'll have to wait and see. Lin Yi wasn't expecting things to turn out like this. He was a little surprised, but it made sense when he thought about it. This suspect, after a careful examination by the plastic surgery experts, was found to have undergone plastic surgery. So, this matter, just as we guessed, should be an attempt to frame you. Huaijuan said. It doesn't matter if it's for us, or for you to find the enemy behind the scenes. It's very important. I'll try my best, let's wait and see. Lin Yi nodded. But, if his brain was damaged by drugs, then the chances of it being restored are very low. All right. Let's go to the hospital together. Huaijuan said. Right, how are Ling Shan and Wu Qintian? Lin Yi asked. It's miraculous, the doctor said that it's just an external injury, and that the internal organs are all fine. It's a miracle. Wan Li said, surprised. Huaijuan and Lin Yi looked at each other, knowing what was going on. Ling Shan had told him about how miraculous Lin Yi was, but Wan Li didn't know about it. Wan Li still had things to do, so Huaijuan and Lin Yi went to the hospital together. There were only the two of them on the way, and it was much easier to talk. Eagle, is it someone you've offended before? Normal criminal gangs wouldn't have such advanced technology. Huaijuan said. From the plastic surgery and hypnosis techniques, as well as this person's instantaneous strength, it's not something a normal criminal gang can do. I've checked this person's strength, and he's no different from a normal person. He's not even a mystic. So, his strength was instantly boosted by the medicine, not his own strength. Oh. Huaijuan's words made Lin Yi fall into deep thought once more, but Lin Yi couldn't think of any force behind this. After all, Lin Yi had offended some criminal gangs before, but they didn't know about Lin Yi's current identity, and they didn't have the means to do something like this. Now that he thought about it, it seemed like he had made enemies after coming to Songshan, but he didn't know which family it was. I can't think of it right now, so let's not think too much about it, we'll go take a look when the time comes. Huaijuan said as he watched Lin Yi ponder. This kind of method shouldn't be something that an aristocratic family could do. It should be done at the level of hidden aristocratic families or sections. Yeah, we'll see when the time comes. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. He had offended quite a few people from hidden families and sections. Let's not talk about that, I heard from Ling Shan that you're planning on going against House Yu. Huaijuan asked after some hesitation. Lin Yi nodded. Sigh. Didn't I say before that we shouldn't do anything to House Yu without absolute certainty? Huaijuan sighed. According to my secret investigation, House Yu's backing isn't as simple as just the hidden House Yu. The common House Yu has done a lot of shady business in the dark, like drug trafficking, smuggling, and so on. These are all things that the hidden House Yu doesn't care about, so this business in the dark means that there must be someone powerful behind the common House Yu. June bro, why do I feel like you're overcautious now? More hesitant than before? Lin Yi asked instead of answering Huaijuan's question. Maybe it's because I'm getting older, and I understand that some things can't be done with courage and determination. Huaijuan said. A man should know when to submit and when to stand tall. Why do you need to be brave for a moment? Sometimes, enduring silently is not necessarily a kind of wisdom. You know Qin Yutian. He was beaten up like that by Yu Feng. Do you think I can tolerate that? Lin Yi shook his head. Plus, Qin Yutian is like this because of me. If I don't step on him, I'll be fine. Do you think I'll be able to sleep in the future? But Huaijuan knew that Lin Yi was speaking the truth, but sometimes. Even if it was the truth, he had to think twice. Plus, even if it's not for Qin Yutian, I have to do it for Armadillo. Have you seen Ning Ziyu? She's such a pitiful child. Her brother's life and death are unknown, but she's still looking forward to reuniting with him one day. Lin Yi couldn't help but get emotional. If House Yu isn't destroyed, I won't be able to rest easy. Since you've made up your mind, there's nothing I can say. Huaijuan knew how protective Lin Yi was. Whether it was Armadillo or Qin Yutian, they were all Lin Yi's lackeys. If his lackeys were humiliated, Lin Yi, as the boss, would definitely stand up for them. From another perspective, if something happened to Huaijuan, Lin Yi would be the first to rush up. This was Lin Yi's personality. Since you know, then what's the point? Lin Yi smiled. Just be careful, Huaijuan said. Huaijuan said. The only thing I can do is help you investigate House Yu in secret. You know that noble houses are under the jurisdiction of the Secret Investigation Bureau, and I can't investigate them openly. The hidden noble houses and sects are under the jurisdiction of the Noble House Council, and I can't help them. Don't worry about the hidden House Yu for now. Lin Yi said. Let's talk about House Yu first. Can you confirm that Armadillo has something to do with House Yu? 100%. Huaijuan nodded. House Yu has a close relationship with Red Conches. What happened back then was probably done by Red Conches, and House Yu acted as accomplices and thugs. No wonder I found it weird back then. Red Conches was just a normal international criminal organization, and they didn't have any masters. Why would they have a master and wipe us all out? So House Yu's masters were involved. Red Conch. Lin Yi frowned. He didn't expect the world to be so small. He had already fought with the Red Conches twice. It seemed that the next time he saw the Red Conches, they wouldn't just be helping Feng Tianlong, they would be fighting for him and Armadillo. Yes, this organization isn't to be underestimated. I heard that there's a big gang behind them. Huaijuan said. So don't think about messing with the Red Conches for now. It's really one thing after another. Lin Yi couldn't help but smile bitterly after listening. What big gang? I'm not sure yet. Huaijuan said. Criminal organizations like this are hard to root out because there's a bigger power behind them. It'd be easier if they were isolated. But all the signs show that the sect behind this should be more powerful than the hidden families and normal sects. If you like this work, you are welcome to vote for me at Chidian. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1580. Alright. Then let's deal with House Yu first. Lin Yi sighed, knowing that it was hard to find the mastermind behind all this. He could only take revenge on House Yu first. How confident are you? Huaijuan asked. If I don't break through before the Noble House meeting, with my strength as a mystic late phase, I'll have a 50-50 chance of winning. I heard that Shuaixing is a mystic late phase peak. Lin Yi paused. If I break through to Earth class, then my chance of winning will be 100%. Of course, that's if the hidden House Yu doesn't interfere. But to be honest, your breaking through speed is really fast. I remember when I first met you in Songshan, you weren't even mystic yet, and now you're about to break through to Earth class. Huaijuan sighed, and Lingshan. I've realized that your leveling speed is really amazing. June bro, you can do it too. Lin Yi smiled, didn't I tell you before? Let's go to the hospital later. I'll heal Qintian and Lingshan first, and then I'll increase your strength. Ah. My meridians. Huaijuan paused. His meridians were already damaged, and his strength was greatly damaged. There was no way he could recover. If it weren't for Lin Yi's medicine, he would have died from the pain long ago. Recovering his strength, on the other hand, was something he didn't even dare think about. It can be healed, Lin Yi said. Chen Yutian was crippled back then, isn't he fine now? Eagle, you always bring us miracles, before, and now. Huaijuan smiled bitterly, I really can't believe it. You'll believe it in a bit. Lin Yi said. Alright. But you've touched the common House Yu, and the hidden House Yu. How do we deal with them? Huaijuan asked. I hope they won't interfere. If they do, then we'll have to face them, Lin Yi said. Have you thought about contacting Ning? Huaijuan asked. I met Yu Bing this time. Lin Yi changed the topic. The one in charge of the hidden House Yu is their father. Yu Bing can't do anything about it. You met Yu Bing. Huaijuan paused. Then you and Ning, why are you so nosy now? Lin Yi smiled bitterly. In the past, you weren't confident enough to give her the stable life she wanted. But you can do it now. Huaijuan insisted. Indeed, but do you think House you would agree to this marriage with my current situation? Lin Yi shook his head. I already have Tang Yun and Feng Xiaoxiao by my side. House Yu wants Yuning to be a concubine. I remember that you made a bold statement back then, asking House Yu to send 2 girls to be your concubines. Huaijuan smiled. Ah. Lin Yi shook his head. It depends on fate. Sometimes, strength is everything. If I had the strength of a sky-class late-phase peak, in that case, it's not impossible. That's true. In the noble houses and hidden houses, strength really does decide everything. Huaijuan nodded. The car stopped below the hospital, and Huaijuan and Lin Yi walked into the inpatient department. Huaijuan made a phone call, and a police officer came to pick them up. The suspect, Ling Shan, and Chen Tian were in a private room, not a normal one. Ever since the incident with Lu Bujia last time, Ling Shan and Chen Tian had been in a private room. After the incident with Lu Bujia, the police were much stricter with the suspects. After entering the special ward, Lin Yi saw quite a number of police officers standing in the hallway. They all greeted Huaijuan when they saw him. Lin Yi? Young bro. A familiar figure walked out of the ward with a tray of medicine. She was pleasantly surprised to see Lin Yi and Huaijuan. Xin. Lin Yi didn't expect to see Guan Xin here. You're still working in the hospital. Guan Xin had talked to Lin Yi last time, and he'd arranged for him to learn medicine from an old friend. He couldn't continue working in the hospital, but he didn't expect Guan Xin to still be in the hospital. Yeah, the teacher's family has some stuff to take care of. I heard his grandson's going to university, and he needs to sort things out first. Guan Xin said. So I'll continue working in the hospital. I see. Lin Yi nodded. Alright, I'll leave you to it then. I'm going to visit a friend. Okay. Guan Xin nodded, hesitating for a long time before speaking with a red face. Can I contact you before I leave? As far as Guan Xin was concerned, it wouldn't be easy for her to meet Lin Yi after she left. This was the first boy she'd fallen for, and while she couldn't guarantee it, it was still nice to see him often. But if she left Songshan City, then the little bit of happiness she had now would be gone. Of course. Lin Yi nodded with a smile. Just give me a call. Okay. Guan Xin was a little excited, but she felt like she'd gone too far. She lowered her head and walked away quickly, forgetting to even say goodbye to Huaijuan. Lin Yi, it looks like you're quite popular with the ladies. Huaijuan teased with a smile. Jun bro, don't joke around. Speaking of which, do you have any plans to get married? You're not young anymore, are you? Lin Yi asked. It depends on my family. You know that our house Yang isn't doing very well right now, so we need to find a suitable family for marriage. Huaijuan smiled bitterly. So, I can't make the decision myself. Ha. Maybe everything will change after this meeting. Lin Yi smiled. Oh. Huaijuan paused. Lin Yi was obviously hinting at something, but he didn't say it out loud. As they spoke, the two entered the sick room. Ling Shan and Chen Tian were talking at the bedside. Both of them were practitioners, and external injuries weren't much to them. All they needed to do was rest. Chen Tian was Lin Yi's follower, and it seemed like Ling Shan and Lin Yi had a good relationship, so the two got along quite well. Are the two of you all right? I've been busy with exams these few days, so I didn't come over. Lin Yi said as he looked at Ling Shan and Chen Tian's complexions. They looked pretty good. Boss Lin Yi, it's fine. If you have something to do, you can go ahead. My internal injuries have already been treated, so it's fine even if my external injuries aren't treated. Chen Tian said nonchalantly, this pain is nothing. Back when I was practicing Iron Fist arts, I was always covered in cuts and bruises. If you like this work, you are welcome to vote for me at Chidian. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 1581. I'm fine, but that fake Lin Yi. Ling Shan was worried about the case. If it weren't for the fact that she couldn't move, she would have been interrogating the suspect with the others. Translated from, many doctors have tried, but there's nothing they can do. Huaijuan sighed. So we asked Lin Yi to come and take a look. Yeah, let's treat your injuries first, and then we'll go see that person, Lin Yi said. Jun bro, tell the people outside not to come in and disturb us. No problem. Huaijuan was the vice director, and the superior of all the officers here. His words were orders. After making the arrangements, Huaijuan stood at the door, watching over Lin Yi and the others. One in each hand, Lin Yi entered the jade space and started channeling the art of dragon mastery, starting to heal Ling Shan and Chen Tian. This was Huaijuan's first time seeing Lin Yi's miraculous, as far as he knew, only House Sun could do something like this. Even they couldn't heal two people at once like Lin Yi. Ling Shan and Chen Tian, on the other hand, were already used to it, and cooperated with Lin Yi's healing. Both of them had external injuries, not injuries to their strength. Therefore, it didn't take long for them to recover. Lin Yi let go of their wrists and waved at Huaijuan. You can switch now, Jun bro, come here. Huaijuan walked over suspiciously, only to see Ling Shan and Chen Tian standing up as if nothing had happened, getting off the bed and walking around freely. It was only now that Huaijuan fully believed that Lin Yi was this strong. Huaijuan's injuries were old, but most of them were damage to his meridians. It wasn't easy to heal, but it was only a matter of time for Lin Yi. This time, it was Ling Shan and Chen Tian's turn to watch over him. Finally, Huaijuan became a golden class late phase peak spiritual practitioner before the sky turned dark. Lin Yi didn't compress his qi to force Huaijuan to break through because his meridians had been damaged for too long, and Lin Yi was worried that it wouldn't be stable yet. He didn't dare compress his qi, afraid that it would damage his meridians again. He'd just break through to Earth class, and then he'd level them up as well. But even a golden class late phase peak was enough to surprise Huaijuan. He'd thought that he'd never be able to train again in his life. But now, it seemed as if he wasn't injured at all, and his strength was even stronger than before. Eagle, I'll call you boss from now on, you don't have to call me Jun bro anymore, it makes me uncomfortable. Huaijuan said. With your strength, being my boss is too much for me. Chen Tian called Lin Yi boss as well. Huaijuan knew that Lin Yi was amazing. He understood Chen Tian's personality. In the noble house, other than the masters of House Yu, there was no one else he admired in the younger generation. Yet he was acting like this in front of Lin Yi. Huaijuan made his decision. Lin Yi didn't correct Huaijuan, calling him Ying. Everyone here was trustworthy. They knew Lin Yi's biggest secret, and what happened in the past didn't matter anymore. After these two incidents, Lin Yi had become Chen Tian's confidant. He was willing to risk his life to protect Tang Yun and Lin Yi twice. This wasn't something a normal person could do. Whatever you want, but I'm used to calling you Jun bro. You can call me whatever you want. Lin Yi smiled. Let's go check out the suspect. Alright, Lin Yi boss, over here. Huaijuan nodded. Ling Shan and Chen Tian didn't need to stay in the hospital anymore. The four of them walked towards the suspect's room. The police officers outside the room were surprised to see Ling Shan and Chen Tian walking again, but Huaijuan was there, so they couldn't ask. Lin Yi came to the suspect's room and saw the man who looked exactly like him. The only difference was that the man's eyes were lifeless, and his limbs were in plaster casts. He laid on the bed with an expressionless face. Lin Yi frowned. As expected, the situation was similar to what Huaijuan said. He was in a vegetative state. That's it. Can you see if you can do anything? Huaijuan pointed at the suspect and said helplessly. If this person stays like this, we won't be able to find out who's behind him, let alone get back the stolen assets. I'll try. Lin Yi didn't have much confidence. He could only wait and see. He walked up, and Lin Yi started doing a full body check on the suspect. Lin Yi didn't need to use any apparatus. His hands were the best apparatus. He transferred his qi into the suspect's body, and Lin Yi started checking on the suspect's condition. The 5 viscera and 6 bowels of the criminal suspect had all suffered different degrees of serious injuries, but at present, they were close to recovery. Although there might be some sequelae in the future, this also showed that the other party's criminal gang had someone with excellent medical skills who could quickly heal the criminal suspect after he was injured. Lin Yi's body didn't have too many problems, but when it came to the brain, Lin Yi couldn't help but frown. How is it? Huaijuan and Ling Shan couldn't help but ask after Lin Yi didn't speak for a long time. It's not easy. The doctor was right. The suspect's brain isn't necrotic, but it's changed because of the drug. The toxins have invaded the entire brain. Lin Yi said with a bitter smile. I've tried, but my treatment doesn't work on him. Lin Yi's universal qi was omnipotent, and could heal people, but the problem was that the suspect wasn't actually injured, but his brain had been poisoned by the drug. It had changed the structure of his brain, and even if he could find a way to expel the toxins, there was no way he could recover. Plus, even if he did recover, the person's memories would only be from before the toxins had invaded his brain. He wouldn't be able to remember the hypnotist's instructions during this period of time, and it wouldn't help solve the case at all. There's no way. Huaijuan wasn't too disappointed, having expected this. Even if there is, it wouldn't be of any help to the case. With that, Lin Yi told Huaijuan and Ling Shan the conclusion he'd come to. Chapter 1582. Target equals, _blank each was Xiao, looks like there's really no hope, Huaijuan said helplessly. The mastermind behind this is clearly prepared for the suspect to be apprehended. If that's the case, he's not afraid that this person will say anything. Lin Yi said. Yeah, looks like we'll have to think of another way, Huaijuan nodded. I'll go back and think about it, see if there's a way. If there's no other way, then I'm sorry. Lin Yi said, Jun Bro, Ling Shan, Cheng Tian and I will go back first. I need to find an opportunity to break through, otherwise I won't be able to avenge Qin Yutian in the noble house meeting. Sure, then go back quickly. Huaijuan nodded, there's nothing for you to do here, since the suspect was arrested on the spot. Even if he doesn't say anything, the evidence is conclusive. It's just that the mastermind behind him is taking advantage of it. After saying goodbye, Lin Yi and Cheng Tian returned to the villa. On the way, Cheng Tian said apologetically, Boss, I've let you down, I didn't think I'd be this weak. It's not your fault, you tried your best. Lin Yi waved his hand, wait until I break through to Earth class, then I'll help you guys increase your strength. Okay. Cheng Tian was excited at Lin Yi's words, so I'm going to surpass my grandpa soon. Just thinking about it makes me excited. Boss, do you think our house will be able to level up in this noble house meeting? Level up? Who's going to level you up? Lin Yi asked with a smile. Naturally, it'll be House Yu. Cheng Tian said with a weird expression. After this noble house meeting, House Yu will no longer be a noble house, Lin Yi said faintly. Awesome. Cheng Tian was very excited, Lin Yi boss, I've been studying the essence of acting cool, but now I know that it's not just acting cool. Acting cool isn't enough, you have to be really awesome. Only then can you act cool. Just like you, boss, one simple sentence, but it's so awesome. Lin Yi was speechless. Can't you focus on something more serious? All right. I'll do my best. Chen Tian nodded. Lin Yi didn't go home immediately. Instead, he called Feng Tianlong. After he came back, he first met with a problem, then it was the college entrance exam. Lin Yi didn't have time to meet Feng Tianlong. He believed that Feng Tianlong must be very worried about Xiao Xiao. So the first person Lin Yi contacted was Feng Tianlong after he was done with this. Uncle Feng, where are you? Lin Yi asked. Little Yi. You're back. Feng Tianlong heard Lin Yi's voice and was pleasantly surprised. How's Xiao Xiao? Did you find the fire spirit's fruit? I didn't find the fire spirit's fruit, but I have good news for you. Where are you? Lin Yi asked. Where are you? I'll go find you. Feng Tianlong obviously couldn't reveal his location. In that case, let's go to the Chu clan's villa. I'll wait for you there, Lin Yi said. All right. Feng Tianlong said, I'll be right there. When Lin Yi returned to the villa, Feng Tianlong had already arrived at the villa. Feng Tianlong arrived at the villa at the same time. Their cars entered the villa one after the other. Uncle Feng. Lin Yi got off the car and greeted Feng Tianlong. Little Yi, how is it? Feng Tianlong nodded. His mind was completely on Xiao Xiao, so naturally, he didn't have time to chat with Lin Yi. Xiao Xiao is awake. Everything is normal. Lin Yi saw through Feng Tianlong's thoughts. Oh. Where's Xiao Xiao? Feng Tianlong looked left and right. He didn't see his daughter and was confused. Let's talk inside. Lin Yi made an inviting gesture and led Feng Tianlong into the house. In the living room, Tang Yun, Meng Yao, and Yushu were watching TV. The college entrance exam was over and they could finally relax. When the three saw Feng Tianlong, they politely turned off the TV. Tang Yun went to get drinks for Feng Tianlong while Meng Yao went to find slippers for him. Lin Yi told Feng Tianlong about the trial and how Xiao Xiao stayed in the Ice Palace to train. Ice Palace? Ice Palace? They're interested in Xiao Xiao. The Ice Palace master took in a disciple on behalf of her master and said that Xiao Xiao would become the next palace master. Feng Tianlong's eyes widened in shock as if he had heard something unbelievable. Yes, Ice Palace. Do you know about it? Feng Tianlong's reaction made Lin Yi feel strange. I heard about it. Feng Tianlong took a deep breath and said faintly, it's a very powerful ancient sect, but our investigation department doesn't have much contact with the ancient sects. I see. Lin Yi felt that Feng Tianlong was implying something, but since he didn't say anything, Lin Yi couldn't ask. Xiao Xiao is so lucky to have met you. Otherwise, even if she had the Yin body, she wouldn't have been discovered. She wouldn't have been able to become an inner disciple of the Ice Palace or even become the future palace master. Feng Tianlong's expression darkened, since the fire spirit's fruit can't cure her Yin body, then Su Su. Sigh, if she knew about this earlier, Su Su wouldn't have, right, Uncle Feng, don't worry. Xiao Xiao asked the Ice Palace master about Auntie Susu. Lin Yi smiled. Xiao Xiao cares about her mother's situation too, of course she asked. Oh. What did the Ice Palace master say? Feng Tianlong quickly asked. Once Xiao Xiao breaks through to Sky Class, she'll be able to refine the Yin energy in Auntie Susu's body for her own use. Auntie Susu will become a normal person from then onwards. Although she won't be able to train anymore, she'll have a few more decades of lifespan. Lin Yi said, of course, these few decades are from when she wakes up. She's only at 20 years old now, around the same age as Xiao Xiao, a few decades is good, a few decades is good. I'm a golden class master now, and my lifespan is longer than normal people. If I count it this way, then Su Su and I don't have much time left. I'm so thankful that this day has finally come. Feng Tianlong was so emotional that his voice changed. But don't you want to break through again? Do you only want to stop at your current strength? Lin Yi asked. Lin Yi originally wanted to help Feng Tianlong increase his strength as well, but it seemed that Feng Tianlong didn't want to do that. Chapter 1583. Target equals _ E Search Novels Chapter 1582, Mysterious The Ancient House of Feng, Ha. Lin Yi said with a smile. Actually, Xiao Xiao can just give Auntie Susu an arts that's suitable for her after breaking through to Sky Class. It might not be as successful as Xiao Xiao, but it'll still be able to prolong her lifespan, so don't delay your training because of this. Ah. That's right, the power of a Sky Class Master is not something we can imagine. Tianlong nodded and sighed. Who would have thought that my daughter would become a Sky Class Master, and the next sect master of the Ice Palace too? Feng Tianlong, oh Feng Tianlong, you sure have a lot of face. Tianlong's sighing made Lin Yi and the others feel confused. Perhaps there was a story behind Tianlong, but this wasn't something Lin Yi could understand. Net 7 *, Shield Bro, why don't you tell us the process of the trial? We don't have anything to do now, I want to hear about it, Yushu said. On the way to the exam, Lin Yi had only briefly described what had happened to Tang Yun, Meng Yao, and Yushu. He didn't go into the details, so Yushu liked to hear about it. Lin Yi naturally told Yushu everything that had happened, including how he got to know Qikuan. When Lin Yi said that Feng Nitian was heavily injured, Tianlong's face froze as a weird expression appeared on his face. He couldn't help but exclaim, Ancient House Feng. Feng Nitian. Yes, Uncle Feng, do you know him? Lin Yi found it strange as well. Uncle Feng, do you know who Feng Nitian is? I don't. Tianlong shook his head. Continue. I've only heard of the Ancient House Feng, and because we're both surnamed Feng, I paid attention to them. I didn't think that someone would be able to learn the heaven-defying martial arts. But you destroyed it. I wonder how sad the Feng family will be this time. Feng Nitian asked for it, I couldn't do anything about it. Lin Yi felt like Tianlong was hiding something, or perhaps he had some unknown connection with the Ancient House Feng. Both had the surname Feng, could they really be related? That's right, he asked for it. Even if it wasn't, it's fine. You wanted to win the test for Xiao Xiao, even if you beat him to death, it's fine. Tianlong shook his head sadly, I'm tired, I'll leave first. I need to see Susu, I can't suppress my excitement, I need to see her and talk to her. Alright, Uncle Feng, you can go. Lin Yi didn't say much as he got up to send Feng Tianlong back. U7 *, it was obvious that Tianlong's expression was lonely, especially after hearing that Feng Nitian was crippled by Lin Yi, Ancient House Feng. Holy Hall. Feng Nitian was sent back by the Ice Palace, and the one who came out to welcome him was the current young head of the Ancient House Feng, Tianlin. For a visitor, this was already a very high standard of reception. After all, the Ice Palace had only sent an emissary, while the Feng family had sent a young master. The status of the ancient Feng family and the Ice Palace was obvious at a glance. Feng Tianlin represents the ancient House Feng to welcome the Ice Palace messenger. Tianlin said loudly as he walked out of the House Feng's courtyard. Naturally, Feng Tianlin knew why the Ice Palace envoy was here, but Feng Nitian wasn't his biological son. He was his nephew, and Feng Tianlin knew about Nitian's wild ambition. Now that Nitian was a cripple, it was a bit of a pity, but more than that, it was a relief. Nitian's talent could bring the rise of House Feng, that was without a doubt. But at the same time, Feng Tianlin would be ostracized if Nitian were to rise. Ever since his eldest brother left House Feng, the competition for the head of House Feng became very intense. In the blink of an eye, 20 years had passed, and Tianlin still wasn't able to become the head of House Feng. The old man of House Feng still didn't want to give up his position, and so the competition was still very intense. Ever since Nitian's godly arts were completed, the third brother's family had become very arrogant, looking like they were going to replace Tianlin. Tianlin didn't say anything, but he felt a sense of urgency. But now, the third brother's bloodline was done for, and Tianlin was definitely going to become the head of House Feng. Young Master Feng, I am under the orders of the Ice Palace Master to escort the Feng disciple, Feng Nitian, back. Nitian got into a fight with someone during the test, and was injured due to his lack of strength. He has been disqualified. The Ice Palace messenger said. Yes. Thank you for escorting me, messenger. Tianlin sighed. Only a big sect like the Ice Palace could be so forceful. Someone was injured on their side, and they were disqualified after sending him back. The person is here, I'll be returning to report. The Ice Palace messenger said. Messenger, I've prepared some food and drinks. Would you like to have some before leaving? Tianlin asked. No need, the palace master doesn't want me to stay. Farewell. The Ice Palace messenger cupped his fists and left. Nitian, on the other hand, was sitting on a wooden chair, looking at House Feng's courtyard in despair, his face bitter and bitter. Men, bring Nitian in to rest. Tianlin waved his hand at his men. Just like that, Nitian was carried into House Feng, and Tianlin sighed as he watched the Ice Palace messenger leave. He turned and walked into the courtyard as well. The letter from the Ice Palace had been sent to House Feng long ago, saying that Nitian was injured. However, the letter was vague, and didn't explain the cause of the injury. House Feng could only wait for Nitian to come back. Tianlin had just entered the courtyard when a Feng disciple ran over. Young master, the head of the house is having a family meeting in the meeting hall. He wants you to attend immediately. Alright, I'll be there now. Tianlin nodded. His father's reaction was within his expectations. House Feng had such a big thing going on, naturally, they had to have a meeting to come up with a plan. Tianlin quickly rushed to the meeting room and found that his third brother, Feng Tianhu, had already arrived. He was Feng Nitian's father, and he was sitting in his seat with a dark expression. Beside him was his fourth brother, Feng Tianyao. The patriarch's seat was empty. Clearly, he had not arrived yet. However, beside the patriarch's seat, there were three old men. They were the Feng family's first elder and second elder. There was also a guest elder with a different surname. The first and second elder had the surname Feng, but they weren't related to House Feng by blood. They were disciples of House Feng, and were promoted to elders. Chapter 1584. Target equals _blank E-Search Novels Chapter 1583, Mysterious the Ancient Origin, Greetings to the Three Elders. Feng Tianlin walked into the conference hall and clasped his hands at the three elders to show his respect. He may be the young head of House Feng, but before he became the head of house, he still had to treat these elders with respect. Because these three elders were all stronger than Feng Tianlin. Feng Tianlin was only an Earth-class late-phase peak right now, while these three elders were Sky-class masters. After the greeting, Feng Tianlin sat down in his seat. Feng Tianhu looked at him with a vengeful gaze, but it disappeared as quickly as it came, but Feng Tianlin still felt a chill. Feng Tianlin couldn't help but smile bitterly. He had always been at odds with this third brother of his. Ever since his big brother left, there had been countless fights. However, this was something that couldn't be helped. It turned out that when his elder brother was still alive, his father had already selected him as the next patriarch of the Feng family. Moreover, he had found a powerful family for him to marry into. It could be said that it was only natural for his elder brother to become the future patriarch of the Feng family. But some things happened after that, causing his big brother to leave the house, and the position of the head of house was empty. Feng Tianlin used the power of the house to barely beat his third brother, and got the position of the young head of house. But there was still a long way to go before he could become the head of house, and he couldn't let his guard down. Especially after his third brother's son, Feng Nitian, had mastered the sky-defying arts. His third brother, Feng Tianhu, had already taken the position of the next head of house. After all, it was obvious that Feng Nitian was going to be the next head of house, and if he didn't, who would? Feng Tianlin was worried, but at the same time, he didn't know what to do. But now, something like this happened. From Feng Tianlin's personal point of view, this was something to be happy about, but from the long-term perspective of House Feng, this wasn't the case. Feng Nitian's appearance would change House Feng's position in the ancient era. Before, House Feng was at the bottom of the ancient noble houses, not even comparable to the Dark Palace. House Feng had more sky-class masters than Dark Knight Palace, but Dark Knight Palace was a proper ancient sect. The sect was located in a spirit mountain and spirit vein, and there were people in the sect who could receive the ancient inheritance. However, a clan like the Feng family was different. They only obtained some treasures or secret cultivation manuals from ancient ruins. They weren't like some ancient sects or families. Not only did they obtain some treasures or secret cultivation manuals from ancient ruins, but they also built their sect on top of the ancient ruins. In fact, the so-called ancient sects and ancient families were not at the true ancient level, nor were they passed down from the ancient times. They only found the ruins of the true ancient sects and built their sects or families on the ruins. They also took the treasures and cultivation manuals in the ruins for themselves. After many years, they became ancient sects. And these kinds of ruins were mostly built on spirit mountains and spirit veins. The spirit energy of heaven and earth was dense, and it was also convenient for cultivation. There were even some ancient ruins that could allow disciples with suitable physiques to inherit the strength of ancient times. Therefore, the status of these ancient sects and clans was obviously higher than that of ordinary ancient sects and clans. And so, this was why Dark Knight Palace had a high status despite having few sky-class masters. 7 by 7 star. 9 star. House Feng, on the other hand, had 4 sky-class masters, but they were just a noble house. They didn't have much to show. It wasn't that the Feng family didn't want to establish their family on the ancient ruins, but it was because the ancient ruins had gone through thousands of years of changes when they discovered it. The heaven and earth spirit chi had long disappeared, and the ancient ruins had become a town or city. There was no point in establishing a family there. Because of this, if Nitian really did learn the sky-defying arts, then House Feng's status would skyrocket. The sky-defying arts was an ancient practitioner's art, and its power was immense. Old Man Feng's face was gloomy as he hurried into the meeting room. He walked to the main seat and sat down. He looked around at the people in the meeting room before his eyes landed on Feng Tianlin and Feng Tianhu. Of course, Old Master Feng knew about the competition between the two brothers. However, he didn't stop them. As long as they didn't cross his bottom line, he was happy to see the next generation grow up in competition. Without competition, an overly comfortable life would lead the Feng family to decline. But what was happening now had clearly crossed Old Man Feng's bottom line. But Old Man Feng wasn't sure if Feng Tianlin was behind this or not. After all, it was too difficult to work with the Ice Palace. Not to mention Feng Tianlin, a young master, even if Old Man Feng did it himself, the Ice Palace might not give him face. Everyone knows about sky-defying. What do you two think? Old Man Feng looked at Feng Tianlin and Feng Tianhu. Father, sky-defying is the hope of House Feng. Now that he's a cripple, we can't live under the same sky as this enemy. We must avenge him. Feng Tianhu said agitatedly. He didn't look closely, but just a simple look was enough to tell that Feng Nitian was hopeless. A normal meridian opening pill had no effect on him, it could only repair a small portion of the meridians in the body. For someone like Nitian, who had all his meridians broken and even lost an arm, it was completely useless. Even with the existence of the grade 5 super meridian opening pill, it could only repair the damaged meridians in the body. The destroyed palm could not be regenerated. Without the palm, it was impossible to cultivate the heaven-defying divine technique. This was because when using the heaven-defying divine technique, one would first need to form a few hand seals. Without the palm, how could one form hand seals? We haven't figured out who the enemy is yet. What revenge? Old man Feng frowned and looked at Feng Tianlin. What did the Ice Palace say? They didn't say anything. With the Ice Palace's rules, they can't reveal who did this. So, I think we should wait until Sky Defying calms down and let him say it himself. Feng Tianlin said. But, even if we know who the enemy is, I don't recommend taking revenge. Second brother, what do you mean? Don't take revenge. Sky Defying is already crippled, and you still don't want to take revenge. Are you even his second uncle? Feng Tianhu panicked. Chapter 1585. Target equals _ D search novels, this. Then we can't just let this go. Feng Tianhu wasn't an idiot. After hearing Feng Tianlin's words, his heart froze. That's right, with Feng Nitian's godly arts, he was invincible under Earth class. Even if he met an Earth class early phase, he would still be able to stop them even if he lost some of his strength. But now, he was heavily injured. This person's strength couldn't be underestimated, and the power that could raise such a talent was definitely not a normal power. Of course, we can't just let this go. But for now, I agree to bear with it. The Sky class meeting is getting closer and closer, and we've been preparing for it all these years. It's not wise to make enemies now. We have quite a few Sky class masters in our house, but we definitely don't have a lot of them. Plus, our position in the meeting isn't high. If we make enemies and get disqualified because of this, we'll lose more than we gain. Feng Tianlin said, the minimum requirement for the Sky class meeting is Sky class, but to be able to participate in the core secrets, you have to be Sky class late phase peak. In our house, only my father has the right to participate. We have to be careful. What Tianlin said makes sense. Old Master Feng nodded and said, Tianhu, let's figure out the cause and effect of this matter first. If someone really bullied our Feng family, then our Feng family is not a pushover. No matter what, we have to get an explanation. But if it's just a normal sparring or competition, then let's just forget about it for now. If we go looking for trouble with someone else, we'll be in the wrong. It might affect our qualification for the Sky class meeting. Yes. Although Feng Tianhu was extremely unwilling, he could only nod and agree since old man Feng had already said so. But in his heart, he was thinking, should he take revenge for his son in private? After all, this son of his was his hope, and now it was ruined. He couldn't accept this. This wasn't as simple as Feng Nitian being crippled. This was his dream of becoming the head of the house being destroyed. He couldn't accept this. The internal strife of the Feng family and old Master Feng's caution had delayed their plan to take revenge on Lin Yi. This was something that Lin Yi did not expect. A few days after the college entrance exam ended, Lin Yi spent most of his time locked in his room. His daily task was to cultivate in the Jade Pendant space. Cultivating day and night, he must reach the Earth rank before the aristocratic family assembly. Therefore, he couldn't stop for even a moment. Lin Yi was blessed with a unique cultivation environment. The space within the Jade Pendant allowed him to absorb an unlimited amount of worldly spiritual energy. Compared to others, he was much stronger. However, cultivation was not something that could be accomplished overnight. There was a saying that went, 10,000 zhang tall buildings start from the ground. More haste, less speed, this was the truth. Although Lin Yi wanted to level up, he couldn't eat a fatty in one go. Lin Yi had been stuck at the bottleneck of Mystic Late Phase Peak for a couple of days now. He was so close to breaking through to Mystic Late Phase Peak, but there was no progress at all. The day of the aristocratic family assembly was getting closer and closer, but Lin Yi had no other choice. He had already made such a bold statement, and now he was still 2 levels away from the Earth rank. Let alone reaching the Earth rank now. Even if he wanted to break through to Mystic Late Phase Peak, it would be extremely difficult. Finally, after so many failed attempts, Lin Yi decided to use the most dangerous method, which was to compress his pure qi to break through. This method was extremely dangerous, and one mistake could cause his meridians to explode. Although Lin Yi had the support of General Weiwu and the Lightning Pig, this method was no different from playing with his own life. Especially when Lin Yi had just broken through with this method. His meridians weren't stable yet, and if he continued using this method, who knew if there would be any side effects. But now that things had come to this, Lin Yi had no other choice but to use this method. And so, on a dark and windy night, Lin Yi placed General Weiwu and the Lightning Pig beside him and told them to protect him. Lin Yi also told Wu Qingtian to guard his door. After doing all this, Lin Yi entered the Jade Space and entered a state of cultivation, preparing to use the compressed pure qi to break through to Mystic Late Phase Peak. When everything was ready, Lin Yi used the art of dragon mastery and gathered the energy around him. Lin Yi was only 1 step away from Mystic Late Phase Peak, so normally speaking, Lin Yi wouldn't be able to absorb any more pure qi from the Jade Space. Even if he could, it would be very little, and wouldn't help him break through at all. Lin Yi started compressing the energy around him. Maybe it was because the energy in the Jade Space was the same as the energy in his body, so Lin Yi could control the energy around him. But at the same time, when he was in the outside world, Lin Yi couldn't compress the energy around him. He could only compress his own energy. Lin Yi didn't dare compress too much, afraid that the sudden release of energy would cause his meridians to explode. After estimating that it was enough for him to break through to Mystic Late Phase Peak, Lin Yi abruptly sucked the energy into his body and released it, boom. Lin Yi felt as if something exploded in his body, blowing up his clothes. The explosion was internal, but Lin Yi was in so much pain that he almost spat out blood. Lin Yi felt as if his meridians were on fire. It was very uncomfortable, but the pain came and went quickly. Lin Yi soon returned to normal, but Lin Yi tragically realized that he hadn't leveled up at all. He was still at Mystic Late Phase. Didn't level up. Lin Yi muttered to himself strangely. Nope, Jiao Yazi looked at Lin Yi and said with certainty. Why is that? Lin Yi didn't understand. Jiao Lao, the amount of energy I controlled this time is the same as last time. Theoretically, I should be able to level up, right? There's no why. The higher the level, the more energy you need to break through. Of course you can't use the amount of energy you used to break through this time. Elder Jiao said. It's like the amount of pure qi you need to break through from golden to mystic and from mystic to earth. It's definitely different. Chapter 1586. Target equals, _blank, search novels Chapter 1585, return it was still a failure. I didn't say that. To be honest, I've never heard of something like this, at least not in my memory. You sure are creative. Jiao Yazi said, if you're in a hurry to break through, you can give it a try, but I won't be responsible if something goes wrong. Website, then I'll give it a try. Lin Yi nodded and entered his training mode again, channeling the art of dragon mastery to compress the energy around him. This time, Lin Yi increased the amount of energy he compressed, but just to be safe, he didn't increase it by too much, only 1.5 times. After the qi entered his body, Lin Yi felt like he was about to explode again. Of course, Lin Yi could still bear the pain, but the tragedy was that after the explosion, Lin Yi realized that he was still at mystic late phase, not peak. It's not enough, Lin Yi frowned, not expecting 1.5 times of energy to still not be enough for him to break through. Maybe this method isn't suitable anymore. Jiao Yazi said, it can be used when you're at a lower level, but the higher you go, the harder it is to break through. If everyone was like you, wouldn't there be sky-class masters everywhere? Now. I've met a lot of sky-class masters, haven't I? Lin Yi smiled bitterly. Sanctuary, where? Go walk around the streets tomorrow and find me a sky-class master. Jiao Yazi said with disdain, if you didn't come into contact with that level, you'd probably never see a sky-class master in your life. You think there are a lot of sky-class masters because you've come into contact with that level, but how many are there in the entire ancient level? You're right. Does that mean I can't break through? Lin Yi asked, unwilling to give up, what if I increase the amount of energy I compress? You can try, Jiao Yazi shook his head, I don't really understand what you're doing now. Lin Yi nodded and continued compressing the energy. This time, he gritted his teeth and increased the energy by more than 2 times. Boom! The energy entered Lin Yi's body and made a loud noise. Lin Yi felt like his meridians were inflating like balloons, and then there was another loud bang. Lin Yi couldn't help but let out a muffled grunt, cold sweat dripping down his forehead. Lin Yi not only didn't break through, but he also broke through most of his meridians. Lin Yi's meridians, Lin Yi, his meridians were like balloons bursting. But luckily, only a portion of his meridians were damaged. Lin Yi didn't need to look for General Weiwu or Skybolt Pig, he could repair his damaged meridians by himself, but, even though his meridians could be repaired, Lin Yi was extremely depressed. Failed, he actually failed. Maybe Jiao Yazi was right, as his strength increased, he couldn't use energy compression as a cheat to increase his strength. Maybe the last time he broke through, the amount of energy he absorbed was the maximum his meridians could take. Once it exceeded this critical point, his meridians wouldn't be able to take it anymore. Maybe, in theory, Lin Yi could break through with twice the amount of energy, but in reality, his meridians couldn't take it. In other words, Lin Yi might not be able to use this method to break through in the future. Fu. Lin Yi, who had repaired his meridians, sighed dejectedly, it still doesn't work. Looks like I don't have a cheat, your training speed is already fast enough, what else are you not satisfied with? Jiao Yazi couldn't help but try to persuade Lin Yi after seeing how depressed he was. Website, fast enough? Is Zhang Naipeo fast? Lin Yi smiled bitterly, it's only been a few months, and Zhang Naipeo has become a master on the same level as me, your training speed isn't actually slower than his. Think about it carefully. In fact, your level up started from these few months. The years before you entered the Jade Pendant space were almost equivalent to a waste of time. It can be ignored. Elder Jiao said. You're right. But his practitioner's arts are really strong, able to turn other people's chi into his own. If I didn't have the Jade space, I wouldn't be his opponent at all. Lin Yi sighed. If I remember correctly, the Chrysanthemum arts is the same as your art of dragon mastery. They're both extremely powerful ancient arts, one evil and one righteous, and they balance each other out. Jiao Yazi said, but my memory is limited right now, I can't remember much more. I'll only remember something after you open the second door. Oh. That's amazing. Lin Yi exclaimed after hearing Jiao Yazi's words, but, if it's as you say, and both are extremely powerful arts, then how could the art of dragon mastery be a match for the chrysanthemum arts without the jade space? No, you've forgotten something very important. Jiao Yazi said, in the ancient times, the qi of heaven and earth was very plentiful. The art of dragon mastery doesn't need the jade space at all. Ah! Lin Yi understood. All this time, Lin Yi had thought that Zhang Naipeo's arts were stronger than his, and that if it weren't for the fact that Lin Yi had created some trump cards himself, he wouldn't be Zhang Naipeo's match at all. But he'd forgotten about the current environment. Who knows, maybe you'll have some unexpected gains after you open the second stage of the art of dragon mastery. Jiao Yazi said with a smile. The second stage. There's still some time before the stone door opens. Then. I can't break through during this time. Lin Yi didn't want to give up. He really didn't want to. I don't have a way, but you can think of one yourself. Jiao Yazi shrugged. All right. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. Lin Yi was worried, but he didn't show it on the surface. Every day, other than training, he lived happily with Meng Yao, Yushu, and Tang Yun, eating and watching TV together. Since the exams were over, Tang Yun didn't have to live here anymore. She played here in the day, and went back to spend time with her parents at night. After all, she'd have to go to university somewhere else, and wouldn't be in the city. There weren't many days left for Tang Yun to spend with her parents. Chapter 1587. Target equals _blank Ichua Novels Chapter 1586, Pinoyang Stratagem, Camping Trip. What do you and Yao Yao think? Lin Yi didn't really care if he went or not, but the decision was up to Meng Yao and Yushu. Ichua, of course we want to go. Yushu said. Meng Yao walked out of the kitchen at that moment, 2 bottles of drinks in her hands. She popped one open and shoved it right into Shu's mouth, almost choking her to death as the drink flowed down her throat. Shu, didn't I tell you not to say anything? Why aren't you listening? Meng Yao glared at Yushu. Cough cough. Yao Yao, you're trying to murder me. Yushu finally swallowed the drink in her mouth and rolled her eyes. But I want to go. I've been cooped up at home for so many days, it's boring. Lin Yi's busy with training, he has work to do, of course he can't go with us. Meng Yao said. Watch TV at home, it's pretty interesting. You can just imagine yourself as the main character. No, the main character isn't as good as Shield Bro, it'll be even worse if I imagine myself. Yushu shook her head. Meng Yao didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Then imagine yourself as Shield Bro. The Holy Temple. Ugh. Yushu blinked. Alright, it's just going out to play, right? Lin Yi smiled. I'm at a bottleneck for a breakthrough, anyway, maybe I'll get something good out of it and break through in one go. Lin Yi was very grateful for Meng Yao's thoughtfulness, but this girl was always like that. She cared about others, but acted so indifferent. Oh, that's great. I'll call and sign up right now. Lin Yi promised. Yushu looked very happy as she turned to make the call. Meng Yao shrugged. It's a class activity, so we can't bring Tang Yun along. Can you talk to her and make sure she doesn't get any ideas? Yeah, that's fine. Lin Yi said. I'll explain it to her. It didn't take long for Yushu to confirm the time and location of the trip. This time, the location chosen by the class wasn't too far away. It was at a resort near Songshan, and could be considered a small scenic spot. However, everyone's main purpose wasn't to see the scenery, but to take this opportunity to get together. After all, once they graduated from high school, everyone would go their separate ways. Their original classmates would have very different lives after they passed high school. Some people were admitted to their ideal university, some fell behind, some inherited their family business and became a boss, and some chose to repeat their studies. The time of the trip was set to be Friday night of this week, and the gathering point was at the resort. In Pinliang's villa, Xiaofu and Xiaofu sat together, looking at the letter in front of them. They were both sighing and frowning. Pao may have profited from this misfortune and unlocked the second stage of the Chrysanthemum Bible, but no matter what, he still lost to Lin Yi. I didn't think that Lin Yi was already a mystic late-phase master. Hatred flashed in Pinliang's eyes. Why is it so hard to kill him? Liang bro, there's no point in panicking. We still have to wait for Pao to master his martial arts. Otherwise, the two of us won't even be a match for him. Xiaofu was a bit depressed as well. We don't know anyone else other than Pao, we really aren't noobs when it comes to dealing with Lin Yi. We don't have to use force. Pinliang said faintly. This class reunion is a good chance to deal with Lin Yi. Even if we can't do anything to him, we can at least make him sick. I just can't stand Meng Yao being with him. Liang bro, you still haven't given up on Meng Yao? Xiaofu asked. How could I give up that easily? I understand now that she and that Yushu girl have been toying with me all this time, but I still can't forget her. Pinliang said. Even if I can't have her, I can't let Lin Yi have her. Then. What about Jiang Wen? Xiaofu said quickly. Liang bro, we can't make too many enemies right now. Messing with Lin Yi isn't a big deal, but Jiang Wen definitely won't let this go so easily. Humph, of course, I know that. I'll bear with it for now. But Jiang Wen. That's nothing, I'll kill him sooner or later. Pinliang humphed coldly. He made me lose a kidney, but I'll make him lose his life. Then. How are we going to deal with Lin Yi in this class reunion? Xiaofu asked. Heh, I've been holding back for so long. It's time for me to make a move and frame Lin Yi. Pinliang said. But as for how to do that, I have a plan. Come closer. Okay. Xiaofu tilted his head. When the time comes, we'll get a pack of aphrodisiac and put it in Lin Yi's wine glass. Everyone here is from our class, and Lin Yi won't be able to defend himself. Plus, we've been out of sight for so long, Lin Yi definitely won't be on guard against us. Pinliang lowered his voice. When the time comes, we'll think of a way to put Lin Yi and Meng Yao in the same room during dinner. When that happens, Lin Yi will be burning with lust, Wouldn't that be letting Lin Yi off easy? Xiaofu blinked. Are you an idiot? Would Meng Yao agree? Of course she'd scream, and the whole class would hear her scream. How would Lin Yi have any face left in the future? Plus, his relationship with Meng Yao would definitely be broken. Pinliang said. Xiaofu nodded. Brilliant move, Liang bro. Lin Yi won't be able to defend himself then, and his reputation will be ruined. But, Meng Yao wouldn't just go along with it, would she? Impossible. Yushu is more likely, but Meng Yao is definitely out of the question. Plus, we'll be watching from the side, and when we call for help, we'll see if they'll still be able to carry on. Pinliang said with a laugh. Then you'll take a bunch of pictures, and we'll send them to the media to hype things up a bit. Even if we can't do anything to Lin Yi, we'll still be able to disgust him. Awesome. Xiaofu gave a thumbs up, but then frowned. That Lin Yi's a practitioner. Normal drugs won't do anything to him, right? Chapter 1588. Target equals, _ Ichua Novels Chapter 1587 A Happy Zhao Qibing, You're right, Liang bro. You're so thoughtful. Xiaofu said. This is a good opportunity for us to vent our anger. The letter was sent back to Naipeo, and as a matter of fact, the everyday sect did have this kind of medicine, specifically for those evil arts. But with Naipeo's identity as the first disciple of the sect, it was easy for him to get some. Naipeo's reply explained how to use it, especially the fact that this medicine was colorless, tasteless, and fragrant. Any practitioner under Earth class wouldn't be able to sense anything when taking it, not even a mystic late-phase peak. Of course, there were more potent medicines, but Naipeo didn't provide any. This medicine was more than enough to deal with Lin Yi, and it would be a waste if it was too strong. 7 by 7 asterisk, of course. Now that we're not strong enough, it's a battle of wits. Pin Liang said, we need to use our wits to deal with Lin Yi. But Liang bro, there's something I don't understand. You're not chasing Meng Yao anymore, so why are you still sponsoring a class activity? Xiaofu didn't understand, isn't it a bit of a loss for us to do this? Idiot, if we don't sponsor and take the initiative, how are we going to drug Lin Yi? Pin Liang said, plus, I'm going to organize a special activity, and I'll be able to get close to Meng Yao then. I know that I can't get her yet, but it'll be nice to get close to her, hee. Oh, Liang bro, you're wise. Xiaofu said. Holy temple, plus, it's just an activity, how much can it cost? Pin Liang said casually. House Chu's villa, Meng Yao was packing up. She was going to dress more maturely for the class reunion this time. Now that she had said goodbye to high school, she was half a step into university. It felt good to be mature once in a while. Yushu, on the other hand, couldn't wear cute outfits because she wanted to match Meng Yao. She rummaged through her wardrobe for a while, but couldn't find any mature outfits. She couldn't fit Meng Yao's outfits either, so she grumbled. I'll go home and find some outfits, Yao Yao. Can you come with me? It's just a walkway, why would I need to accompany you? Meng Yao ignored her. Then I'll ask Shield Bro to accompany me. Yushu said. Go then. Meng Yao said. Lin Yi was getting ready to go with Qintian to Uncle Zhu. Lin Yi wasn't in Songshan before, so he didn't want Qintian to do anything on his own. Now that Lin Yi was back, he had to get his revenge. Lin Yi had planned to break through to Earth class before going, but it seemed like that wasn't going to happen anytime soon. But with Lin Yi's current strength, stepping on Uncle Zhu would be child's play. Even Wu Qintian would be a piece of cake. Just as Lin Yi was about to leave, he saw Shu Shu running down the stairs. She said to Lin Yi, Shield Bro, I'm going home to get my clothes. Are you coming with me? Shu's house is very beautiful. Do you want to spend some quality time with just the two of you? Pfft. Lin Yi didn't know whether to laugh or cry. You go yourself, it's not like I haven't been there before. I'm going with Qintian to get my revenge on that Uncle Zhu. Jiao Jiao, alright then. Shu didn't force him when she heard that he was going to get down to business. The three left the villa together. Yushu drove her own beetle, and Lin Yi drove Xiao Xiao's Land Rover. Now that the fake Lin Yi was brought to justice, the truth was out, and Lin Yi could drive the car as he pleased. Lin Yi shook his head as he watched Shu leave in a hurry. Was she moving? Driving a car, but it seemed like Shu really did want to move. Ever since Lin Yi came to Meng Yao's villa, Shu almost never went back to her own villa. Boss, I'm a little nervous and excited right now. That Zhu guy didn't level up, did he? Qintian was naturally nervous before he stepped on Uncle Zhu. He leveled up, but didn't you level up as well? Lin Yi smiled. Where's that arrogance from before? That's right, no matter how strong he is, he's not Lin Yi, the boss. I can recover if I'm injured, but if he's injured, I'm screwed. Qintian regained his confidence. In the floating cloud bar, Sihua, Yao Wang, and Uncle Zhu were all in charge. Su Jiaonang, on the other hand, was in charge of the general affairs. Ever since Qibing had taken the foundational pill, he'd been busy practicing and didn't have the time to care about the bar. The foundational pill was an extremely rare pill, and it could allow a normal person to quickly step onto the path of practicing. Plus, after the foundational pill changed one's body, it would be easier for them to practice than normal practitioners. But because of the limitations of the foundational pill, the path before Mystic class was very smooth. But if one wanted to break through to Earth class, the foundational pill's effect wouldn't be as obvious. One would need a super foundational pill, which was the bone and marrow cleansing pill, to completely change a person's body. However, the bone and marrow cleansing pill was in existence from ancient times, and the recipe had been lost, not to mention someone who could make it. So, after Qibing stepped into Mystic class, he had to use a special method to practice. Otherwise, his progress wouldn't be as fast as it was now. With the help of the foundational pill and the pure chant, Qibing actually became an early-phase golden class spiritual practitioner. Although he was still far from Uncle Zhu and the others, his training speed was already very fast. Today was Qibing's breakthrough day, and this made him very happy. After practicing, he laughed like an idiot for a while. Ha 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 ha, with my speed, I'll definitely be the head of House Zhao if I keep practicing. Lin Yi, you little bastard, you'll be under my feet sooner or later. Master Bing, there's bad news from the house. Just as Qibing was getting excited, Sihua rushed into the room and told him. What news? Qibing frowned, unhappy. I just broke through, and you're telling me bad news. What news is more important than my breakthrough? Master Bing, the boss said that Zhao Qikuan has returned from the test. Sihua said carefully. Oh. Returned from the test? Doesn't that mean he's eliminated? That's good news. What's bad news? Qibing paused. Chapter 1589. Target equals, _ search novels Chapter 1588, Mysterious Someone Causing Trouble, and Zhao Qikuan. I don't know what kind of bullshit luck he had, but he didn't stay in the Ice Palace. Instead, he asked for a treasure exchange right and returned to House Zhao. What? He passed. He didn't stay there to train. Qibing's eyes were wide open, not understanding. Website, Master Bing, this Zhao Qikuan is probably worried that you'll take the position of head of house first if he stays in the Ice Palace to train. Sihua said. You have to be on your guard. This guy has always been ambitious, but you didn't have the strength to back then, so we didn't care. But now, you're the true heir. Fuck. Qibing was pissed after understanding what Qikuan meant. So you're saying that Zhao Qijiu will definitely become an Earth class? You can say that, in the Ice Palace, as long as you work hard, breaking through to Earth class shouldn't be a problem. Uncle Zhu finished his training as well. Then what do you guys think? What should I do? If I work hard, catching up to Zhao Qikuan won't be a problem, but Earth class. I'm afraid I won't be able to in a short period of time. Qibing said worriedly. Master Bing, you don't have to worry too much. After I ate the meridian opening pill, not only did my damaged meridians heal, my strength recovered as well. Plus, my damaged meridians have been nourished by the meridian opening pill, and they're much stronger than before. I'm already showing signs of breaking through, and I'll be a mystic early class peak soon. Uncle Zhu said. Plus, Master Bing, now that you're favored by Elder Bai, we'll have a lot of medicine. It won't be long before I break through to Earth class as well. Actually, us practitioners, other than the talented ones, are pretty much the same. The key is who has more medicine. That's good. Ha. Qibing said happily. Don't worry, you'll have a lot of medicine. Yes, no matter what, my big brother will stand on your side, Master Bing. He's an Earth class as well, he has a place in House Zhao. Uncle Zhu said. Website 7 asterisk, right, how could I forget? Boss Zhu is an Earth class master. So what if Chijiu broke through to Earth class? Qibing nodded, relieved. However, just as he heaved a sigh of relief, he suddenly heard a loud bang coming from outside the bar. What's going on? Qibing jumped in fright. What's going on? Outside. As soon as Qibing finished speaking, Su Jiaonang ran in, panicking. Master Bing, Sihua bro, this is bad. Someone's here to destroy the bar. The door is broken. Bar entrance. Isn't it made of iron? Qibing paused. Internet 7 asterisk, it was early in the morning, and the iron door of the bar had not been opened yet. How could the iron door be broken? It's someone we don't know. He said that he's here to cause trouble. Tell Master Bing and Uncle Zhu to go out and get kicked. Su Jiaonang said carefully. Someone I don't know. Qibing frowned. How is he so strong? Could it be a cultivator? I don't know. What should we do, Master Bing? Su Jiaonang asked. Let's go, Uncle Zhu. Come with me. Who wants to die? How dare you come to my place and destroy my bar? Qibing had just broken through to the early phase of the golden class, and his blood was boiling. He couldn't find anyone to practice with. Now that someone had come knocking on his door, he naturally wouldn't let it go. Uncle Zhu had just recovered as well, and he was about to break through to the peak of the early phase of the mystic class. His hands were itching, and it was the best time to find someone to practice with. When the two reached the entrance, they saw Qintian standing in front of the bar with a big hole in it, pointing his finger at the bar arrogantly. Everyone inside, listen up. Get that old Zhu and that dumbass Zhao Qibing to come out and get beaten up, or I'll smash your bar apart. Qintian roared, I'll destroy your bar. At this moment, Wu Qintian's acting skills were on full display. Wu Qintian was very happy. Before, in front of Lin Yi, he couldn't act cool, and he didn't dare. But now, he finally had a use for it. Lin Yi was sitting in the car at the door. He didn't come out. Only when Wu Qintian couldn't do it himself would Lin Yi do it himself. This revenge was Wu Qintian's own, and it felt good to beat up Uncle Zhu himself. But when Lin Yi saw Uncle Zhu's strength, he didn't even think about getting off the car. Early phase of the mystic class. Although he didn't know how his meridians recovered and how he became early phase of the mystic class again, it wasn't important. Wu Qintian was a dual practitioner, and he could easily beat Uncle Zhu. Kid, so it's you. Uncle Zhu frowned. He didn't expect Wu Qintian to come for revenge. If it was Lin Yi who came for revenge himself, Uncle Zhu would believe it. But Wu Qintian, a golden class, dared to come here. Could it be that he didn't know that he was a mystic class again? Yes, that must be it. This kid thought that he was a golden class mid-phase. Wu Qintian, you've got guts, haven't you? Don't you know that this bar belongs to me, Zhao Qibing? Qibing naturally knew Wu Qintian. When Qibing skyscraper was being built, he even invited him. It could be said that he had a good relationship with Qintian, but they weren't that close. I know, I wouldn't have smashed it if I didn't know. Qintian said faintly. He was now in the same step as Lin Yi, and he saw Gooden kill a master from Hidden House Pie with one punch. He wasn't as scared of the hidden houses as before. In his eyes, the hidden houses were nothing. In front of Lin Yi and Gooden, they were nothing but trash. You think you're strong? So what if you're strong? Lin Yi and Gooden were alive and well, and nothing had happened to them. Ha! Qibing laughed instead of getting angry. I think you're tired of living. Kneel down now and apologize to me, and compensate me 100 million for the repair fees. Then I'll let you go. Otherwise, your common house will be removed from the list of noble houses. Qibing was now the heir of the hidden house Zhao. Naturally, his confidence was different. Plus, he'd learned Lin Yi's method, which was to scam people of their money. And so, Qibing decided to use this method to scam House Wu. Chapter 1590. Target equals, _ e-search novels Chapter 1589, Mysterious the tragic Zhao Qibing. Besides, compared to wiping out House Wu, extorting money from them was much more worth it. I say, Zhao Qibing, did you eat too much arsenic? Have you gone stupid? You're just a bastard, how can you represent the hidden house Zhao? Chen Tian mocked. Website, Sihua, tell him who I am now. Ignorance is so scary. Qibing said faintly. Wu Chen-tian, you don't know yet, right? Master Bing is now a candidate for the young master of the hidden house Zhao, and he's the most likely candidate. Sihua said, what, aren't you going to beg for mercy now? What young master? Will you let me go if I beg for mercy? My boss is Lin Yi now, and you have a grudge with Lin Yi. Do you think I'm stupid? Just tell me if you're scared of death, don't waste time with all these empty words. Chen Tian said with disdain. What did you say? Qibing was about to explode. He was speaking the truth, not empty words. He'd said those words to scare Chen Tian into handing over the money obediently, but Chen Tian had taken it as a coward. Naturally, he was pissed. Uncle Zhu, cripple this kid and notify House Wu. Give us 200 million in exchange for him. Yes. Uncle Zhu couldn't hold it in any longer, rubbing his palms together as he walked towards Chen Tian. Qibing wasn't an idiot. He knew that Chen Tian was already a golden class master, and his strength was stable. He didn't want to make a move rashly. He was going to wait until Uncle Zhu crippled Chen Tian first before getting his fill. When Uncle Zhu walked over, Chen Tian moved as well. He was sick of this, and couldn't wait to make a move. Chen Tian didn't put on any airs, and threw a punch at Uncle Zhu's chest. Uncle Zhu was now a mystic class master, and naturally, he wasn't afraid of Chen Tian. He was about to block the punch when he realized that something was wrong. This Chen Tian was no longer a golden class master, but an early mystic class master. However, by the time he reacted, it was already too late. He could only brace himself and stretch out his hand to block. It was impossible for him to dodge. But Uncle Zhu comforted himself. Chen Tian was just an early mystic class master, and he was already a mystic class master. He wouldn't be at a disadvantage. But in the next moment, he realized that he was wrong, very wrong. But it was too late. Website Uncle Zhu spat out a mouthful of blood and was sent flying, crashing into the wall. His sternum caved in and his eyes rolled back. Who was Chen Tian? As the successor of the iron hand technique, his hand techniques were quite powerful. Even if it was an expert of the same level, they wouldn't dare to take it head-on, but Uncle Zhu did. Plus, Chen Tian was a dual cultivator, one level higher than other masters of the same level. Wouldn't he be able to cripple Uncle Zhu on the spot? Internal and external cultivation. Blood frothed out of Uncle Zhu's mouth as he struggled to utter these words, but before he could finish, Chen Tian walked over and stepped on all four of his limbs. This was a skill he learned from Gooden, and he thought that it was awesome. Finally, he could use it himself. With the help of Chen Tian's physical strength and spiritual qi, Uncle Zhu's arms and legs were broken, and the meridians in his arms and legs were crushed by Chen Tian's pure qi. And so, Uncle Zhu's newly recovered meridians were crippled again, and this time, it was even worse than before. After 4 screams, Uncle Zhu was about to threaten Chen Tian, saying that his big brother wouldn't let him go, but Chen Tian stepped on his mouth again, breaking all of his teeth. The pain made his eyes roll back, and he fainted. Website, you. Don't come over. Qibing was finally scared. Qiantian was too strong, wasn't he? Why were all of Lin Yi's followers so strong? Gooden was like that, but this Qiantian was so strong. I'm sorry, but Boss Lin said that you're too much of a nuisance. He didn't come looking for trouble with you, but you came looking for trouble with him. He had no choice but to send me to break your legs. Qiantian said. Don't. I didn't do anything. Qibing felt wronged. He may have become the heir of the hidden house, but he only dared to curse Lin Yi behind his back. He didn't dare to mess with Lin Yi. That Zhao Fafa, weren't you the one who sent him to mess with Tang Yun's wife? Qiantian said as he walked towards Qibing. I didn't know. Qibing was about to cry, cursing in his heart. Zhao Fafa, you bastard, you're killing me. Gotcha. Qibing was an early-phase golden class master, how could he be Qiantian's opponent? He couldn't even resist, and both his legs were broken by Qiantian. But Qiantian was very considerate. He didn't destroy the meridians in Qibing's legs, only breaking them. Lin Yi had told him not to cause too much damage to Qibing, so that the hidden house wouldn't retaliate. As for Qibing, even if he didn't do anything to him now, he'd be a cripple sooner or later. Qiantian didn't quite understand Lin Yi's words, but he followed Lin Yi's instructions. All of this happened in the blink of an eye, and with that, Qiantian walked out of Floating Clouds Bar and got into Lin Yi's car. Lin Yi started the engine, and the two of them left the bar. This is great. Boss Lin Yi, this is the first time I've felt so good. So, even noble houses can step on hidden houses. Qiantian was dancing in excitement. If you have the ambition, even if you come from a humble background, you can still be on the same level as the ancient sects. Lin Yi said faintly. No one is born a master, and not all the ancestors of the ancient sects have good conditions for training. Boss, I understand, I'll work hard. Qiantian felt that his vision had broadened a lot. Before, he was too limited. He only saw the power struggle of noble houses, and thought that getting a place in the noble house was the ultimate goal of his life. But after following Lin Yi, he realized that hidden houses weren't that mysterious after all. If he wanted to step on them, he'd step on them all the same. And he'd step on two of them at once. Hidden House Zhao and House Pai. And Lin Yi was about to go against House Yu again. Would the Hidden House Yu make a move then? Qiantian's blood was boiling at the thought. The inside of the Floating Cloud Bar was naturally in a state of chaos at this moment. Chapter 1591. Target equals _blank Ichua Xiao. Uncle Zhu, on the other hand, was gasping for air, his mouth full of blood froth. It seemed like he wouldn't be able to make it if they didn't save him now. Yao Wang was about to check on Qibing's leg when Qibing stopped him. Let's go check on Uncle Zhu first. My leg is fine, it's just a broken bone, it didn't hurt my meridians. After becoming a practitioner, Qibing had become more familiar with his own body and could recognize his injuries. So he didn't want to be a hindrance right now. He might as well let Yao Wang treat Uncle Zhu first. Of course, Uncle Zhu was probably going to be crippled again this time. What Qibing wanted was Boss Zhu's heart. He needed Boss Zhu's help for his revenge. His master, Elder Bai, couldn't get involved in the conflicts of the common world, so he had to rely on Boss Zhu. Boss Zhu was from a hidden house, but he had just broken through to Earth class and hadn't registered with the Noble House Council yet. No one knew about it, so he was the best choice. Yao Wang took a look at Qibing's injury and knew that it wasn't serious. He nodded and went to check on Uncle Zhu. He didn't even dare to do anything when Qin attacked. He was a mystic, but he couldn't fight. It was better for him to hide at the side. Who was going to treat Uncle Zhu if he was injured? Call Boss Zhu, quick. Uncle Zhu is injured, we have to inform him. Qibing said to Zihua. Yes. Zihua nodded at Master Bing's words. He quickly called Boss Zhu for help. At the side of a dilapidated residential alley, an old man handed a small box to a girl. This is the medicine you've taken this time. Swallow it quickly. The young girl silently took the small box and opened it. Inside was an exquisite medicine bottle. The young girl opened the bottle and swallowed the medicine inside. Just as she was about to say something, her phone rang. The old man took out his phone and looked at the caller ID. He turned to the girl. I have some urgent matters to attend to, so I'll leave first. You can go back by yourself. With that, the old man hurried out of the alley and found a quiet place to pick up the phone. Boss Zhu, it's me, Li Zihua. Do you remember me? Zihua said quickly after the call connected. I know. You're Master Bing's man. What's wrong? Something must have happened. Call me. Boss Zhu was panicking as well. He was now an Earth class, and he was afraid that the hidden Noble House Council would target him. He tried his best to avoid contact with Qibing and the others, in case he was discovered. So, for someone close to Zhao Qibing to call him, it must be something very urgent. He was originally scavenging with Qin Shi. But because he was afraid that Qin Shi would find out, he quickly found a place with no one around and picked up the phone. Boss Zhu, this is bad. Uncle Zhu has been heavily injured and is on the verge of death. Yao Wang is trying to think of a solution, and Master Bing's legs are broken as well, but Yao Wang's treating Uncle Zhu first. He hasn't gone to Master Bing yet. Zihua knew that Qibing's injuries weren't serious, but he wanted to show how much Qibing cared for his subordinates. As expected, as angry as Boss Zhu was, he was very touched by Qibing's actions. Master Bing is a good master. Zihua, wait for me, I'll be right there. Alright, we'll wait for you. Zihua said. Uncle Zhu finished the call and turned to look for Qin Shi. He had to give her some instructions. Qin Shi, Grandpa Zhu has something important to do. I'll be away for a few days. During this time, you can scavenge on your own. However, don't forget the mental cultivation method that I'm going to teach you. Don't tell anyone about it. Don't worry, Grandpa Zhu. If you have something to do, you can go do it. Qin Shi said obediently. And, take the elixirs I gave you regularly as well. Boss Zhu said and quickly left. He was burning with impatience. Uncle Zhu was his blood brother, and now that he was injured, he wanted to run over as fast as he could. When Boss Zhu saw Uncle Zhu lying on the bed with all his meridians broken, he was filled with grief and anger. Originally, Uncle Zhu's future was bright after he took the meridian-clearing pill. If Lin Yun gave him some pointers, it wouldn't be hard for him to break through to Earth class. But now, Uncle Zhu had become a cripple. He didn't even know if he could survive, let alone cultivate. The most tragic thing was that he had eaten the meridian-clearing pill for nothing. Wah! This old man is going to find him for revenge now. Boss Zhu, please calm down. Qibing jumped in fright when he heard that Boss Zhu was going to take revenge now. If Boss Zhu went now, he'd be able to kill Qingtian, but he'd also attract the attention of the Noble House Council. It'd be impossible for him to deal with Lin Yi then. And so, he'd go after Lin Yi. Qingtian was just a small character, one of Lin Yi's underlings. Qibing only hated Lin Yi. He didn't have the heart to care about a small character like that. Furthermore, the most important thing right now was that his grandfather was currently in seclusion. This could be said to be a matter of life and death for the Zhao family, and they couldn't afford to make any mistakes. If they were to be targeted by the aristocratic Family Arbitration Association at this time, it would definitely not be a good thing. Furthermore, the matter of the chi-gathering pills could be exposed. Plus, Qikuan was back, eyeing the position of the young head of House Zhao like a tiger eyeing its prey. If he caused any trouble here, Qikuan wouldn't let it go so easily. Even Elder Bai wouldn't be able to handle it then. Ever since Qibing became Elder Bai's disciple, he'd been thinking a lot more than before. Before, Qibing didn't have much ambition. He thought that he was just an illegitimate child, and that he'd be lucky if he could make a name for himself and gain the recognition of House Zhao. But now, Elder Bai had given him hope. He could reach the sky in one step and become the young head of the hidden House Zhao. Naturally, Qibing wouldn't be as reckless as before. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.